Good morning, everybody. This is Nick Urias coming to you live from Mount Media Days 2026. Good to be with everybody here live. And I'll better appreciate everybody tuning in. We got ourselves tons of coverage. Nevada from Palms Resort. Out here, appreciate the Mountain West for bringing us, just running it back for another the football season. And I mean, we're less than 2 months away. Towards the back end of August 20th. Last Saturday of August, we're gonna have things kicking off across football landscape. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Interviews all throughout the day. How we're gonna do things, just a little housekeeping before we hit the ground running here, is a morning session and a morning session stream that's gonna go about 2-ish, maybe a little bit before that, in a stream with the second half interviews with the student athletes, the back end the afternoon, like the front end of the afternoon, I would say, but it'll be a separate stream. Shout out to the Bison Wire, and of course, leave everything in the chat. I'll be seeing it; it'll be pumping in here. With the North Dakota State Bison guys, intriguing team. We're getting deep dive on West team. We're gonna have student athletes. We're probably gonna have 2 to 3 from each Mountain West, and we're gonna go from there. We're gonna have San Jose State in the hour. Let's see what we're dealing. We got San Jose State, UNLV, and UTEP from until 10:30. So that's where we're. And then we're gonna have Nevada and New Mexico from 10:30 to within that range. So we're gonna be doing a lot of yapping. We're gonna be doing a lot of analysis and all that good stuff while the players are coming in and out from everybody here. And of course, like I said earlier, if you have questions, leave them in the chat. Players, I'll try to keep things going here, and as much as I can, as far as that, and keeping an eye on the chat. Available on Twitter and youtube.com/@thesportsentiment. Now we're gonna just hit the ground. We got the first set of student athletes schools. Some things that happened before we officially signed on here. Preseason, there's no preseason poll, but a first team was West changing up some things this year. I've already addressed the preseason poll stuff. I think it's a little this, that, and the other, but it's honestly, the fans probably don't even care, and you're just using the motivational angle if you're a team that's bottom of the barrel and that type of stuff. So not a big deal at all. And it is what load up the preseason team, and San Jose State any players on the preseason list for offense teams. And I would say, I'm not surprised at all, really. Brand new. This Mountain West just league as a whole is very talented, and there's teams that are have returning production on that side, and it totally makes sense. San Jose State's got not a lot of production returning. They're one of the more inexperienced teams as far as, flip roster from last year to this year. Most inexperienced team as far as returning production in the Mountain West, going back to 2025. And in fact, their second least inexperienced team from a production standpoint in all of the FBS. And the only team that is near that is Southern Miss, and I think it's like 23%. Like it's pretty wild numbers. Brand new San Jose State team, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? I mean, they went 3-9 and 2-6 in the Mountain West year. We've already talked about all of that stuff all together, right? Like the team was underwhelming last year. Too many one-score losses. Special teams was no good. Tons of missed field goals. I mean, they were 11 for 23 on field goals. That can't happen. I mean, come on, if you're making 50% of your field goals, right? Like we've been through this. If you've been tuning in to our coverage during the off season and even going back to last year, right? When we would Mountain West, just weekly breakdowns. It would just be, okay, like it's a revolving door at the kicking position, which is never a good thing. And it just turns into, just an all-out mess in that regard. That's that. So, San Jose State comes in and they bring themselves, a pipeline of a really good kicker, right? A pipeline of that we're going to certainly dive into. And we got Jose State rolling in right now. We got Nas Danielson.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, man. We got Ethan Powell stepping up and in. Nice to meet you guys. Look, Mike is right here, guys. If you guys don't mind sharing that one. We're currently doing live coverage. How's it for you guys, Brent? I mean, new defensive coordinator with Coach Boj, right? Just how has that, curve been and, learning his defensive play style and his play calling, during the offseason here?
Yeah, obviously, he has his different ways of doing things that, so used to, but I love it. And I think he brings everything we need as a defense to build a great culture.
Nas, let's talk about your growth because, you were a BYU recruit many moons ago. You've been in the pipeline at San Jose State. Mm-hmm. You've been kind of waiting turn. Mm-hmm. You've been learning from guys like him who's been around the block. Just talk to me about what this offseason has been for you because we're expecting a bigger role, and I think Spartan fans are expecting a bigger role from you on the field this year.
Sir. Well, like you said, I waited my turn, a long time, and I feel like, I'm ready to go. Never been more ready, just preparing, these past few years and learning a lot from guys like him, like you said. My mentality is, go prove myself, but also, do what I can to help the team out, a day. All that matters is getting dubs, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just ready to go.
Yeah, you guys were both on the team last. Obviously not the results that you guys wanted. A lot of one-score losses. I guess what makes you optimistic about 2026? That you guys could be the break in the Mountain West this year and raise some eyebrows.
Like you said, it's been really close games that we've lost. Last year, I think that part of the mentality that we've developed over this offseason is finishing. So, finishing games, finishing the reps, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's all going to translate this season.
Talk to me about the playmakers, Ethan, on this defense, because it's a brand new defense per se, right? Like you guys graduate a lot, right? You guys lose, just a linebacker in, Jordan Pollard, who had 111 tackles last year. So I guess, just talk to me about what this defense is going to look. Talk to me about some of the playmakers here because there's going to be a lot of new faces this year.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's going to be a lot of new guys. We're still figuring out who wants it bad enough, obviously, but we're going to see who's going to be on that field. You can expect us to be flying around on the field for sure. You never question that. We're always going to get to the ball, and we're going to show good defense this year.
So just for either one of you guys, just talk to me about the attitude of Coach Boj Filiamatu because he's been the linebackers coach. You guys have worked with him, but just talk brings as an individual, as a coach, and just his character on a day-to-day basis.
Oh yeah, you never got his energy. You never got to question if he's up or down. He's always the same dude, and he's just gonna bring the energy, and he's gonna hold people to the standard that we need to hold them to.
How was that F1 arcade yesterday? I know you guys weren't living that experience. Just talk to me about here and representing San Jose State and the having the fitties yesterday.
Yeah, well, we're very blessed to be here to represent the school. Got a lot of excited for the season. Good to see a lot of the other teams here. See competition for later this year. We're just excited and blessed to be here.
Who is one player that might not know right now, but will know by the end of the season for San Jose State?
I want to shout out Q1 Bullard, man. He's a corner program all 5 years, and he's waited his turn. I think his time is up now.
Nas, who do you got for us?
For the defense, I want to shout out Solo Langi. I think he's gonna have a big year. Fill big shoes, and I think he's gonna have a great year.
Is there a game that you guys are looking forward to the most? I know every game's the same. You guys are going to go 1-0 every week. The mentality is going to be the same. But is there maybe a road destination or a team that's coming into town that maybe you guys are going to be locked in for?
I think, and we're going to approach it like that. So I don't know. I feel like the first game obviously right now is World War II. Going up to SC. So that's what I would say.
Talk to me about Coach Ken, Ethan. I think everybody knows the family culture that heals with San Jose State. Maybe somebody that hasn't watched San Jose State and knows about Coach Ken. Just talk to me about what he brings in the lock of the field, in the competitive spirit as your head coach.
Oh yeah, he brings the best out of everybody. It's a family. At the end of the day, we're here to do a job, and he's gonna make sure we get that job done. And in a good way, it's tough love, but I wouldn't have it no other way.
Right on. What are you looking forward to the most? Because I feel like you're going to be one of the leaders of this defense as a guy that's actually got production out there, and it's just instilling so many guys. I guess, what are you looking forward to bring on the field and off the field for SJSU's defense this year?
I want to bring the energy and leadership. We got a lot of new guys who are trying to learn the system and know the system. So it's just about, making sure everybody's on their P's and Q's. And I think that's up to me to hold them accountable. So
Nas, obviously, this is going to kind of be like your first year where, everyone's going to see what you're about. Mm-hmm. I guess kind of what are your goals and for a 2026 football season?
I think like EP said, try to lead. Feel like I'm in a position to lead. Now that I've been in the system for a couple of years now, I want to prove myself. A lot of people don't know who I am and how I play, so I want to show that, through my play. So it's my mentality.
We do San Jose State cover all the time. We're there at SEFQ Stadium on the weekly. For everybody back home in the Bay Area and, just Mountain West fans as a whole, I guess just what's your message, to the Spartan faith for 2026?
I say, come watch, come support, we're ready to go and want to prove ourselves. So a lot of people have counted us out this year, and we're ready to prove that, we belong in the CFP and to belong, and be competitive against every other team.
Yeah, I think we just want that support. Don't judge us based off last year's record. That's the big thing. We got a whole new team, so I would definitely say that we're something to look forward to in the city.
Right on. Here, new team, and hopefully better results for you guys. Best of luck for 2026. Good to be out here with you guys. Certainly the last time we won't be talking. So appreciate the time, guys, and have some fun out there. I mean,
appreciate you having us.
Yeah. You get ready. You probably got 6 more hours of this. Right on, guys. Appreciate y'all. Absolutely. There you have it. Nas Jackson and Ethan Powell, San Jose State linebackers. We're going to be, I got you, man. We're going to be a big part of what San Jose State does this year. Look, I mean, the sample size is very small for Nas Danielson. I talked about it. I mean, he was initially, a BYU guy, redshirted there, did not play at all. Transfers to San Jose State. Just really has been waiting for his turn in full, I guess, his collegiate career. And kudos to him. I mean, this is a guy that could have, he went to BYU, went to the Big 12, didn't work out. Comes over to a place like San Jose, where he probably thought he was going to get some opportunities. And this was a senior-heavy linebacker room a year ago with Taniela Latu and Jordan Paul in particular. Ethan Powell saw tons of time a year ago for the Spartans, kind of playing that outside linebacker role. Ethan Powell's going to be a part of what they do this year. And I think Nas Danielson, quite honestly, he probably didn't want to say it himself, but I think he's going to be one of the more rated players that the Mountain West has to offer this year. San Jose State has had really good linebacker play and it's back over a decade now. And it really hasn't gotten appreciated enough just amongst Mountain West media. Obviously, we cover San Jose State, so we see this roster, in and out, on a weekly basis. So that's something we totally recognized, between Jordan Paul and Brian Parham. You could go back to, Kyle Harmon, who didn't miss a single game in 4 or 5 years as a San Jose State linebacker. You can go back to who was like, USFL Defensive Player of the Year tackling machine for SJSU, right? So San Jose State's had some really good linebackers, and, it just hasn't, really been recognized too much. And, we're going to recognize it. And they're going to have another one of these tackling machines for, just again in here in 2026. I'm a firm believer of it. They're going to have impact players. And what does that look like? I think that remains to be seen. We're going to be asking everybody, and we're going to ask everybody down here as far as who's an underrated player in the Mountain West. I ask this question. I ask it for basketball because I think it's so important. Because we're looking for, the most underrated player that the league has to offer. And, transfer portal and things like that, sometimes you miss this stuff. Sometimes, there's that's a little bit deep depth chart that just emerges, as we get to fall camp. And, we're looking for those guys, and not better people to ask than the players who are around everybody each and every day. Ethan Powell talked about Solomon Legge on the defensive line. Defensive line is going to be so intriguing for the Spartans this year because I think Justin Stearns slim in, as one of the guys on the defensive line. That's another guy that's just waited his turn and really been involved. He's been involved with issue, but that's a guy that has stuck it out his entire career with the San Jose State Spartans, and he's going and going and going, and I think this might be his year where he can get really get things going. We might be getting the UTEP minor players here, newcomer in the Mountain West. For 2026. So active working on that behind the scenes while I'm talking to everybody. I'm ready whenever you guys are. All right. Ironing out the kinks here with UTEP. I think we are good to go. Awesome. How you doing, Jaden? Right on, guys. You, Nick, out here in from San Jose. If you guys don't mind sharing this mic, that would be awesome. Defensive guys for the Miners.
Sir.
You play linebacker, you play safety, right?
Yes, sir.
So talk to me about, just the transition from the Mountain West. I know everybody's going to ask you about this. You guys come from Conference US. You guys had wins last year. I know you're looking for, a better, improved 2026. Just talk to me about the conference and, dealing with a new set of opponents here.
Yeah, the conference change has been exciting. I think it's exciting for fans, it's exciting for our staff, for our players, and we're just looking for compete that used to be a thing, and unfortunately haven't been able to play those games the past couple of years. But we're coming back, and it's gonna be fun to compete against some old opponents. But at the end of the day, we've kind of just, no matter what conference we're in, we're kind of just trying to hone in on our details and trying to get better, improve from what we did last year. We're not too focused on who the opponent is, but rather us as the opponent, and we got to fix our corrections, and we got to do better as a team and as a program, and that's the strides we're looking to make.
What worked for you last year? Number 2 in total tackles. You had like 8 FLs. You were just kind of all the place in 2025. Where were you out there that just worked?
I think just my confidence in myself. I think earlier in the season, obviously I wasn't the starter, but I continued to believe in myself. I continued to put my head down and just work. And at the end of the day, when you believe in yourself and you put your faith in God, everything will come to fruition. So that I was blessed enough to be able to become the starter and shine.
Cody, just what ultimately just brought you back to UTEP, representing everybody out there, and so for the events for 2026.
Yes, sir. Honestly, I like how we ended it. I like how the season went for me, and I just feel like it was a lot to build on. I had a good relationship with Coach Byer. He got promoted to defensive coordinator now. And it was that and my relationship with the seniors like Jay Will and Xavier Smith, like Cam. A lot of that just made it easy for me to come back.
I know you're defensive guys, but I'm going to ask about, your quarterback and EJ Colson. He's a newcomer, comes with incarnate word. Already been named the starter. What have you from him? Because you guys go up against that offense.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him, his poise, and just him commanding the huddle, when you're going up against him on the other side?
Really from EJ, the biggest thing I take away from him is like his leadership. He got great leadership qualities for being like a young player, and just in his approach to the game. Like he a dog. Like he want to win. Like he gonna do whatever it take to win. He don't care if it's got to run, throw for 100, throw for 300. Like he just want to win. Throw it to, like he just wants to win. I appreciate that.
I'm going to ask everybody this, across everyone that we talked to today.
Mm-hmm.
Who is one player, and I'm going to ask you both of you guys this, who's one player Mountain West fans should be aware of that we don't know about yet, that's going to make a splash here in 2026 and we'll know about here by the time we conclude the year?
Well, I got a lot of names, but I'm trying to think. I'll try to think of somebody who may not know.
Could be a newer, could be a guy that's running it back.
Yeah.
Who's really stood out to you?
I'm gonna say Esther Blurry. He plays safety for us. He a transfer, and I feel like he's gonna have a great senior season. I feel like he's gonna make a lot of plays and show the Mountain West fans, show them something.
Jaden, who you got for us?
Yeah, that was an easy pick for go Garrett Hawkins, my partner in crime. He kind of unfortunately went out last season with the injury against Texas, but that's just the foundation of our program. He does everything. He's a grinder. I mean, day in and day out. He's truly someone I look up to when it comes to getting work in and stuff like that. I'm blessed to be able to play next to him, and he's definitely someone Mountain West should look out for.
Do you guys realize how cool your stadium is?
Oh yeah,
sun in El Paso,
in the country, best.
Yeah,
in the country.
I mean, I don't think Mountain West fans realize it. I guys host the Sun Bowl every year. Out there in El Paso, gets a national spotlight. But man, that stadium is just awesome. The scenery.
We belong in the Mountain West. The stadium's
exactly.
built in a mountain.
Exactly. It literally, you guys literally fit the footprint.
Nowhere else for us to be. Yeah. So
how cool is that? To present UTEP and stepping into that place every single.
It's awesome. I mean, being able to go out there and just practice in an environment like that, look up and you see mountains just surrounding you. They blew it up just so we're able to practice in there. So it's a great environment, and especially when our fans come out and they fill that stadium. Oh, it's the best place to be on planet Earth.
Year 3 for your head coach, Scotty Walden. Talk to me about Coach Walden. I mean, I think everybody sees him at basketball games. Like, this guy's into it. Like, his spirit is for real. To me about what he brings to you guys on a day-to-day basis, as a coach and as a motivator. Yeah,
the things you see at the basketball games are not just for the cameras or nothing like that. When the cameras are off and it's just us in the building, he's the same person. And I think we can all say we have the utmost belief in him. And he's he's provided our team with structure. He's provided our team with belief, and he continues to do that in and day out. His energy never wavers. He's a true competitor, and I think our team, especially, I know we feed off that like none other, and I know our team feeds off that. Like it's exciting for that man to be our head coach. Exciting, he gets us pumped up. So it's a blessed opportunity we are to have him.
Yeah, like Jay said, like Coach Walden, his energy is real. Like that's not fake juice. Like that's real every day. Every day you walk in the building, you see him at the store, see him at a basketball game, he's gonna be the same way. And like I feel like that's infectious. And me personally, like it's easy for me to get behind somebody that's coming like that. Like he a true competitor. Like he want to win. He don't care about the name on the G. Like he want to win. He don't care about anything. That's winning first. Winning the stand. That's everything. Well,
we're so used to playing the usual suspects in CUSA. Dealing with the new conference and the new set of opponents. Is there a destination or a place that you're really looking forward to to maybe playing in the new league this year?
I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not too familiar with the Mountain West because I come from D2, so I wasn't even too familiar with Conference USA. But I did want to play UNLV and go play in the Raiders Stadium, but they switched our schedule up.
Yep.
So I'm gonna probably say Air Force. I never been to Colorado. I feel like that'd be cool. I feel like that'd be a cool stadium to play.
I think for me it's kind of the obvious thing. Being a transfer from UNM, my first year, I think that's obvious. And back returning to Albuquerque and playing there, I think that's going to be in a fun environment. It'll be a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing in the altitude. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You guys absolutely fit like West.
It's right. It's only right.
Yeah, I mean, just that's gonna be something, I guess. Just that adjustment, and I mean, I wouldn't even say it's really an adjustment because I mean, you guys people don't realize like El Paso is like sneaky altitude, right?
Yeah, it is. It really is. People don't realize till they step in the Sun Bowl and they're like, okay, well, they got to run down kickoff a couple times and they're like, okay, well, this is a little different. So yeah, it is sneaky.
Absolutely. Well, hey, guys, appreciate it. Best of luck in 2026. I'm going to try to make it out to the Sun Bowl this year.
Do it. You got to. You have to.
We do. I'm San Jose.
Okay.
I do coverage for San Jose. So how about that? Your fans actually voted for the kickoff. I don't know if you guys were. You guys were well. I imagine.
Yeah, we were.
How cool? Just before I let you guys go, how cool was that to kind of get the fans involved with something like that?
It's great. I mean, having the fans involved in any type of game is our ultimate goal. So being able, whatever time they want to be there, we'll play for them. Our goal is to please our fans. So whatever they want, we're willing.
Awesome, guys. Best of luck in 2026. We're gonna definitely have eyes on you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
There you have it. Cody Lowe and Jaden Wilson for the UTEP Miners. Wow, yeah, that's going to be an emotional game for Jaden, right? Back to Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's going to be something. Something we didn't mention. And again, we're getting things going. But that's going to be something. Going back to your old stomping grounds. And remember, he was there like when New Mexico was down in the dumps, when they were kind of, just a laugher, and they were kind of getting that thing up and running. And look at it now. Like New Mexico, I think if we talk to, Mountain West media, they're going to be on top of, everybody's list. Like, hey, they got a chance to win the league. They even got a chance for, college. Like, it's not far-fetched. The schedule sets up really nicely. Really like the Lobos this year, but that's going to be a big-time game. I have to say, like, UTEP, their defense, that was another unit that probably didn't get enough credit in CUSA. I know CUSA was just an absolute disaster of a league last year, but they were in games. Like, they were in some games. Their offense took them back so much. I think I got it written down somewhere in here, but they were like 130th in like turnover margin, something like that. Yeah, they were minus 12 in turnover margin, from just over the entire year. So, their quarterback room was a mess last year. That That's why they brought in a guy like EJ Colson. I'll talk to EJ here in a little bit for the UTEP Miners. Very excited to that because he's going to be QB1 and commanding this thing out there in El Paso. But yeah, that offense last year just sent them back so much, and it really just turned into, this situation for UTEP. They're turning over the ball. The defense is really not getting a fair shake on the other side because they're dealing with all these short fields, and they were just kind of put in a hole all throughout CUSA play. And that defense, when the offense wasn't turning over the ball, that defense was balling out in some spots. They had Cal State and Jackson State, who were both in the title game for Conference USA last year. They had them like on the ropes, but their offense was just so, it was non-existent. And they were, like we said, they were turning over the football, and it was an absolute mess in so many areas. So I'm interested to look like that transition. I feel like it's going to be tough because Conference USA to the Mountain West is that's no joke. I mean, I didn't ask them about, and maybe we'll ask the wide receiver for the Miners in I'm blanking on now. Cam Thomas. He played one game last year. He's one of the few returners on the offensive side of the we got San Jose State coming in right now. We got San Jose State. How we doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. Mike's hot. If you guys don't mind sharing that.
No worries.
We got San Jose State offensive lineman Tyler Chen and Joseph Harbert. Guys, how we did? Good to be talking with you guys again.
Yeah, we're good, man. Just,
You don't mind moving
that
one a little closer.
It's a good day so far. Just answering questions.
Rinse and repeat for 6 hours, right? Same 20. Let's talk about the Spartans this year because anybody that's watched San Jose State with this regime, I think, knows that you guys are going to sling the football around. Craig Stutzman, we've talked a bunch with that spread and shred offense. It's legit. Numbers speak for itself. Talk to me about what we should expect here with year 3 with Coach Ken and Craig Stutzman here, because a lot of new wide receivers coming in.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we had a good amount of turnover, new pieces, right? But the spread and shred speaks for itself. Obviously, we're going to pass the ball, but more than that, we're going to really try to get an emphasis on playing fast this year, trying to not only take out the thinking, but just being able to move and have a good time and put some touchdowns on the board. So
absolutely. Talk to me about your new O-line coach, Ramson Golfison. I've been to a couple of your practices during the spring. Man, that guy's firing the energy. Just talk to me about him coming in here, Joseph. What he's going to bring for you guys. You guys might be getting a little meaner up front, I see.
Yeah, I think the intensity is great. He brings a lot of passion, a lot of care to everything he does, a lot of attention to detail in his life, and he brings that. He does that across the whole line, and being on time, being early, like that's the way he operates, and it's great. It's really helped to create a lot more accountability in the group and toughness.
Talk to me about your flexibility on the offensive line. I mean, since you've been here, you kind of played every single position practically. Is there a position you prefer more than the other, or just talk to me about your versatility and what you're going to bring for SJSU this year?
It's great. It's been nice being able to know I can have the confidence to do a lot of things out there, but it's good that I have confidence in me to do that, but I like sticking to one spot, but it's fun. Wherever they want me to play, I'll play, and that's really what it is.
Jabari Bates is back in the backfield for San Jose State this year. Got injured at Stanford. That was unfortunate, right? Ended up being out for the year. We saw a healthy dose of Jabari Bates in the spring showcase. How does he look for Spartan fans that maybe weren't there and haven't really gotten a taste of Mr. Bates?
Barry's doing his thing. You guys people saw a glimpse of what he can do, right? It was short-lived, but it was explosive for sure. I mean, he's been looking great, doing a really good job with helping the other guys in the room come along and just doing a good job overall. Just lead example.
You guys were at the F1 arcade yesterday. How was that experience? Just being out here in Vegas, and where was that one at Caesar's Palace?
Yeah, it is. It was fun. I mean, it was basically a bunch of us in one room. I think it was like 10 emulators. One of them was broken, and we were just racing, having fun, trying to beat each other. So Joe did pretty good. I mean, he got second a couple times. I
There you
got second
go.
a couple times. No, all right. We tried our best. That's
Fair
that's
enough.
all that needs to be put out there.
Question for both of you guys from out there, that are going to be keeping an eye on San State this year. Who's maybe a player on San Jose's roster that is going to emerge this year? Maybe fans don't know about yet, but will know by the end of the year.
I mean, my go-to would have been Barry, but probably I'll give defense a little shout out. Solo is a really hard worker. I mean, he's been kind of just having his head down and doing his thing, and he's been leading the defensive tackles really well. And obviously, he's gotten a little bit of like preseason, but people are gonna know Solo by the end of this.
It's exactly what Ethan Powell said.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
I would Brian Tapu. He's gonna be one of our tackles this year. He's a really hard worker. He has the size. He has the length. He's super smart. I think that guy, he's gonna put on tape that he's a monster. He's gonna have a really good year at tackle.
You guys are it's like this is just an annual trip to Hawaii now on the schedule. I mean, you guys, I was doing a deep dive on this. So this regime with Coach Ken has never played Hawaii on the island. You guys have played Hawaii, and then you guys played in the Hawaii Bowl. Talk to me about going back to the island, once again, because obviously that's an emotional game for the staff.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of touched on it. There's a lot of connections there, whether that be some of the guys grew up there, some of the coaches grew up there. Obviously, Coach Ken grew up there. There's a lot of connections, and it's definitely gonna hit through to home. But at the end of the day, it's just another game. Just gotta go there, take care of business, and then get out.
Talk to me. I mean, new teams in the league this year, which means new destinations. You're playing at El Paso this year. Their fans voted for the kickoff time. I think that's like a 7 p.m. local or 8 p.m. local kick. Talk to me about a new destination for you guys. And I've been talking to people. That stadium in the Sun Bowl, it's pretty iconic. I think you guys are going to see like just the mountains. I mean, totally fits the conference's footprint. Talk to me about going to a new destination for 2026.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's always fun seeing new teams come in and areas that they are in the country and the different people that bring into the conference. I think it's always fun seeing the different fan bases and how they have passion for the teams, and it's really cool to see that.
What's your message? What's your message to the San Jose State fans out there? Obviously not the result you guys wanted for 2025. So I guess what's the message for 2026? Just to give you guys all the support.
I think it's a message of we're going to be really exciting. We're going to be fast. We're going to put a show on. And I think ready to bring the energy and be ready for
Yeah, I mean, exactly what Joe said. Just we're obviously disappointed about what happened last year, but past, that's history now. We're moving forward, and the future.
Before I let you guys go, quarterback. Guys got a new quarterback, new signal caller. We know there's been an active competition. How has that been brewing since the spring showcase game where, we kind of saw a little bit of everybody?
Yeah, I mean, it's still brewing. We don't really when the first start happens. And even then, we've seen in the past, things kind of change up, right? And at the end of the day, the best man will play. And I think all of them, we have confidence in all of them, but whoever wins, wins.
Right on, guys. Well, we'll be keeping up, at CEFQ Stadium. We'll be continuing to broadcast games out there, you guys. So definitely the last time we won't be chatting. So best of luck for 2026, and we'll be talking sooner, right?
Yeah.
And enjoy the festivities today.
Yeah, we're having a good time so far. So
Right on, guys.
thank you for having us, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good to be talking. Good to talk to you guys. San Jose State offensive lineman Tyler Chen and Joseph Harbert. Appreciate the time from those guys. Offensive line for San Jose State going to be, man, I think that's going to be a mean unit. Because between Coach Ken and Craig Stutzman, both kind of said like, hey, we need some more hunger on the offensive line, because it all starts up front. For this team. I think that's why they ultimately made a position change from a coaching standpoint. They just somebody else in there. And that's no disrespect to the people that Ranfison. But look, I think it all starts up front for if they can, like anything, if they could run, protect. That was I thought the offensive line was pretty respectable to start out 2012. And then once when Nate Hale went down with react tackle, I think it really kind of just shifted things significantly, right? Because we talked about Joseph Harbert's versatility. Next thing you know, they're shifting him. Tyler Chen, I mean, that's a versatile guy too. And I've talked about the journey with him before where, I mean, his first snaps as a San Jose State, Spartan, he's over here delivering snaps to Emmett Brown. And he ended up getting in the middle of the game. He's kind of really, I would say, re-earned his spot on the offensive line. And kudos to him because he dealt with some adversity as a SJSU Spartan to start out. But he stayed the course, learned from his mistakes, and now he's going to be an essential part of what San Jose State is going to bring for 2026. So I think those guys are for sure penciled in as starters in everybody's book. They're going to be a big part of what the Spartans do this year, and we're going to see how that materializes. You heard it right there from Tyler Chen. Quarterback position is on go. We heard Coach Ken Tololo. We'll get an update from Coach Ken tomorrow. For media days. When we speak to all 10 Mountain West head coaches in 24 hours from now, just about the update on QB1 and when is that going to emerge. Coach Ken, at the springtime when we last spoke to him, he said he wants to make a decision relatively early to fall camp. We're going to see if that position changes, if he still stands his ground on what he said during the springtime, and all of that. But just know this, week 0 at USC, they're going to have a caller that doesn't really have much experience. Luke Weaver, transfer from Hawaii. Everybody remembered from the Hawaii Bowl on Christmas Eve when he threw the game-winning touchdown. And, everybody saw that. It was the only sporting event on Christmas Eve. And everybody was watching that very entertaining bowl with Hawaii versus Cal, and Hawaii ended up erasing a 1-point deficit in the fourth quarter. So Luke Weaver's got that. He's got 2 starts on the ledger. Versus Sam Houston State and versus Portland State. Not the greatest competition. Sam Houston State was a wreck last year. Worst pass defense in America, and Portland State was a lousy FCS. So, but still, those are starts on the resume. That's important. The competition wasn't great. This is obviously a massive step for whoever's for Luke Weaver in particular. So Robert Daniels in the running for the Spartans, to potentially do some things at QB1. Sometime last year when just the revolving door, when San Jose State was deep in the watering hole, end of the year. The embarrassing loss at Nevada. I think we even saw him versus Fresno State in the regular season finale. Sample size is very small. I mean, smaller than Luke Weaver, just because he didn't really make starts. And they got Daniel Rolovich, who's a true freshman. I mean, that guy's like 18 years old. So, like, you got inexperience, whoever comes in here. And that's why I think it's good that you have a competition. San Jose State's talked about how they're kind of analyzing everything. And that's something I'm very intrigued to talk about with Coach Ken tomorrow. How hands-on are they with the, with the analytics and that stuff with their back as a whole, like with their practices? What's the evaluation looking like there? Because I mean, it's 2026. We live in with all the AI and artificial intelligence and how easy you could kind of just run the numbers on this stuff. We're getting more and more into just an analytical world, just amongst these teams, and the team taking advantage of it. I'm one of these guys where you can use the numbers, but I got to have the human element to the game as well. All these people, like we see all the time in NFL, like, where all these guys pulling the dice and, doing all this crazy stuff. I mean, I'm really not for that. You got to really have a healthy balance between the two. So that's where I stand on that. But we're gonna see. I'm interested to see like how much San Jose State is doing with that, and we'll ask Coach Ken about that and how he uses the analytics, and maybe how that ultimately settles QB1 job, because he came out and said like, hey, we're tracking everything as far as throws, accuracy, things like that. You'd be amazed at the technology that these coaches have at their disposal now. So would love to get some insight on that tomorrow morning for Coach Ken Niumatalolo representing San Jose State. So we got San Jose State. We're going to see if we can maybe get some the UTEP guys. We got UNLV going to be coming up on this next block here. So that's where we're at with that. As far as our player interviews is concerned, this will be saved on both platforms, on youtube.com/@thesportsentiment, along on Twitter. So you could go back, re-listen to the interviews. I'll be posting everything and stuff like that. Separate videos, so you don't have to go scrounge through the 4-hour stream if you want. All right, we got ourselves a nice little. Excuse me, everybody. We got ourselves a nice little surprise, spontaneous guest here. Mike's hot, my man. We got Niles Hall from here. Niles, thanks for coming on, man. We're live on YouTube and Twitter. Just about being at Media Days. It's your first time out here, right?
My first Mountain West Media Day. It's first couple hours into it.
Bring that one a little closer.
It's my first couple of hours into it. It's been fun. Everybody's walking around. Players around. Media walking around. It's a good. Like it's like a family vibe.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's you communicate with each other. I like the questions. The new Mountain West teams. Those have been interesting.
Who have you chatted with? Or you talked to the San Jose State guys or any of the other Mountain West schools?
You just talked to them. I just talked to them too. The San Jose State guys. And then I just talked to Jack Lane, which was interesting.
Oh, right on.
Jackson Eck. I was just in the room. They were having availability.
Right on that media scrum. Yeah, you got to be a little aggressive in there, right?
Yeah, you got to be aggressive. I got a couple questions off. Nico, confident. And after last season with Coach Eck, they're looking to build off of it. Jack Lane is his last year senior, so he's looking to build off of it. I feel like they're looking at a big year, and I'm excited to see what they have, coming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what they look like and just the expectations, because last year they were in the basement. Nobody thought of them, really. I called them the FCS All-Star team last year just because that was kind of who they were bringing in, just a bunch of guys from like Idaho and Weber State, where Jason Eck did a lot of recruiting from. And now they kind of pretty much running it back.
Yeah.
Their returning production is first in the Mountain West.
Yep. And, they were high on NDSU. Interesting because they they NDSU coming in and they were like, yeah, we played against them, because Lane FCS guy, Coach Eck has a lot of respect. So I think they're one of those teams that are, have a good found respect for, the FCS teams. And I think, those first couple NDSU games, coming in, might be put on alert and they're going to be ready.
What do you make of St. State Spartans this year? 3-9 overall last year, 2-6 in the Mountain West. You and I covered this team pretty religiously. By far the most disappointing team in the league last year, given the expectations. And now everybody kind of thinks they're a mystery team this year.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like I need to know their quarterback situation.
That's fair.
Before I can really get something in. But from what I've seen, spring camp, the vibes are high. The coaching staff is rebuilt at places they had weaknesses, last season, and I feel like that will help them a lot, coming into next season. I think Coach Go Fans and Passion, he's been, the heart of practice pretty much, yelling around the offensive linemen, and I feel like if that sets the emphasis of what this team will be, next season, they might surprise some people. I think they'll be a middle of the pack team. I kind of view them the way, Wyoming, those middle of the pack in the Mountain West. And, I feel like that's a solid, maybe be in a hunt for a bowl game. The offense will always be electric with Coach Stedman. And then defensively, I'm trying to see what defensive coordinator Coach Boje has.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what that defense looks like. I asked all the guys who's one guy that's really impressed, and they 2 out of 4 of the guys representing San Jose State here at Media Day said Solo Langi on the defensive line, which I thought was pretty interesting. I don't know if they told you the same thing. I think Nas Danielson, there's a reason why they brought him out here. I think he's due for a big year.
Yep.
But I thought that was pretty because the defense is where everybody doesn't really know what to just given where we were at last year. So
yeah, defensively, I am Nas Danielson this season too. He's been spring camp. He has a lot of confidence, and he's been one of those guys. SJSU, we've had live.
Yep.
We've been producing, a lot of linebackers in this conference. So I think he's next up. And I talked to them. How is it, being replacing those tandems, from last season, with, Jordan Pollard, Nella Latu, and they said, they're just next up. They have a lot of chin into what the linebacker room's gonna be, and they want to continue, leveling up that linebacker.
What game that you got circled on the schedule where you're gonna really figure things out with San Jose State and where they're at? It could be non-conference, could be Mountain West. What stands out to you for Joel?
I know the first couple of games, SC. I'm kind of they could surprise some folks, but you never know.
They're a 35-point underdog in the game.
They are? I didn't even know it was that bad, bro.
They'll score some points on them, but I mean,
I think offensively, yeah, we can score, but SC is SC.
They're gonna run. And that's the thing. SC will run up the score.
Yep. And what is it? Michigan after Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
And
what a weird game.
Eastern Michigan. It's like those first 2 games, and then we go out and play another FC, Cal Poly.
Yeah.
After that one. So I think if you could get 2 wins, first 3, I think Fresno State non-conference, the rivalry Valley.
Yep. It's a coin flip game.
It's a coin flip game, but I think that's going to be a big game just for team morale. If they can get headed into conference, I think they'll be in a good spot.
That's fair. I I did my scheduling rankings. You can find it on youtube.com/@thesports. That Michigan game scares me to death.
Yep.
Games in the Ypsilanti. It's 6 days after the USC game, where it just might be a body blow game for everybody involved. The fact they got to try and you got just 6 days removed from the game, I think that's a really bad spot. I'm with you on Fresno. Like, that Fresno game's gonna be a coin flip. We saw Fresno last year.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter who their quarterback is.
It doesn't. The way they play is just, they play physical style of football, and during the last couple of years they've had our number. And I think I'm not too high on them in the Pac-12 this year, if I'm being honest. But I think to San Jose, this game's gonna be personal because that was the last game of last season. We got blown out at home. 4 interceptions, 3 quarterbacks played. That was a mess to end the season, and I think they'll have a little seeking revenge in that game.
Yeah, that was a messy game last year. I mean, geez Louise, that I would say go rewatch the highlights, but I mean there really wasn't too many. A lot of intercept, a lot of short fields. I mean the only play in that game was Jordan Pollard's pick 6 in the game. But that's 2025 and that's in the past. What do you make of the newcomers? UTEP, Northern Illinois, North Dakota State. I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued for sure. I think just doing my research, this last couple of weeks, getting into college football season, getting into the swing of things, I think I'm high on NDSU. I think they can instantly compete into this conference. I think they'll be a top 3, top 4 team in this conference. And then NIU and UTEP, I'm on wait and see mode. Wait and see. I think UTEP is I'm very interested. I feel like they have a lot of offensively, but then during the problem's been for the last couple of years defensively, they just haven't been good. And NIU, the opposite.
Their offense is dreadful.
Yeah, their defense is really good.
Yeah.
So and there's a couple teams that's just like that, and I think they can do some good things.
For sure. Very intrigued on teams from out west, or just even in the Mountain Time Zone. Go to DeKalb, Illinois. There's not a damn thing out. It doesn't really fit the Mountain West footprint at all. Geographically, their spots are going to be tough because they're essentially Hawaii, where they're going to be traveling. They're going to have those long games on the travel wise on. But I'm telling you, they're going to catch maybe a team or two at home where they just muck up the game and drag it into the mud, and next thing you know, it's on upset alert.
Yep. And I think that's their advantage, especially in the Mountain West map has expanded now. We're the Mountain West is being Texas, the Mountain being Illinois, and then that just adds more miles for like a team like Hawaii, who every year leads the college in miles traveled. That's just extending the stay, extending, trips, adding more miles onto it. And I think that's going to be their biggest advantage. It's just the miles when they're at home. It's just the miles teams have to travel to play. And then,
Yeah. Give me an dating year. Conference is going to be essential, for San Jose State. The Mountain West schedule, very interesting as well, obviously, because everybody's going to play everybody for the most part. There was just so many games on the schedule last year where there's going to be San Jose's going to be punching with revenge. Like that Wyoming game was timer last year. Yep. Wyoming comes to San Jose this year. I got some. How about this? I don't know if you knew this. San Jose State is 11-2 Mexico in the last 13 meetings. I mean, it seems like everybody owns somebody.
Yeah, I was just talking to Jack Lane about that.
Oh, you mentioned it to him right on.
He said he had a lot of respect for what we have going to say. We got the win against them at home. That was one of the high points of the season. We took out one of the top 3 teams, top 4 teams in the Mountain West last season. And that game, that New Mexico game, was like what San Jose State was supposed to be, and then everything after that was just kind of downhill from there. And I think New Mexico, we have their hand, and yeah.
Fair enough. Where can people find your work? You're covering San Jose State football once again. You do a bunch of work. You do a bunch of out there with the Spear. People find out.
On Twitter or X N23 Hall under, and then thespear.com, SJSU, covering all SJSU sports. We do good things over there.
Right on, man. We'll catch up offline a little bit later.
All right.
Thanks. Cheers, man.
Yep. Thanks.
There you have it. Niles Hall with San Jose State, football beat writer for the Spear. Yeah, he looked like he hopped in the media scrum with New Mexico earlier. He's kind of hopping all over the place. Just talking all things. Yeah. We got some more guys that are going to hear. We got Hattie Barghouti with the Spear and Spartan Daily as well. We got ourselves a little downtime here. Hattie, the mic's hot, man. How's the experience been at Mountain West Media Days thus far? You're kind of just floating around. Who have you talked to, and how's the experience been thus far, man?
Yeah, no, it's been great. I think just seeing all the Mountain West schools together, seeing all these new teams, especially. I mean, you have North Dakota, you have UTEP, all these teams that were not in the Mountain West, and now just seeing that the Mountain has changed, it's just definitely exciting for the future. Despite them losing, some good teams, they gained some news, which could be full of surprises there.
Make it the San Jose State team. I don't know if you've chatted with the San Jose State guys just yet. I know you've kind of been floating around during practices and whatnot.
Yeah.
Make it the San Jose State team. Everyone we've talked to thinks of this mystery team and nobody knows what to make of them right now.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Like, I really don't. I think it's either going to be a 7-8 bowl. They could definitely make a bowl game, or it's going to be kind of similar to last season. I really don't see, especially just with this new group. I mean, I think the defense is definitely promising. This defense looks really, definitely Urias struggled last year, but the offense is really, I think San Jose State fans should maybe question a bit. Obviously, you got that new receiving crew, a new quarterback room. The O-line looked shaky at times last year. So it's really, I think this is going to be a big year for the defense. And, also just it really depends too on who Coach Ken trusts in that QB role. Obviously, San Jose State has a history, right, of benching QBs, but I'm playing that 2 QB rotation.
Right.
And then some might say of the QBs, some might say just they might not have chemistry with all the receivers there. So I think just settling on one quarterback from week 1, I think that will get them off to a good start. But I think definitely I'm remaining optimistic because I think after last season, Coach Ken is obviously a great coach. I mean, he knows how to win, and I think he's definitely going to help turn them around.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. My guess is Luke Weaver gets the nod come week 0 at USC at the end of August. But if he's not delivering, if we're having the same deal that we had a year ago with Walker Eggett, and they're marching to the red zone, get into the other side of the field, and they're turning over the football, staff's not gonna live with that again.
Yeah.
So I do think to a certain extent, like whoever is the starter, they're a relatively short leash.
Yeah.
Because if they're turning over the football, they might go to somebody else early on in the season. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Do you agree?
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. I think definitely, I mean, Coach Ken, he showed that, he's not afraid to pull QBs out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, if you throw 5 picks, I mean, he's not doing it, but I think definitely Luke Weaver should be the obvious pick. I think, transfer out, obviously known for that bowl game when Hawaii beat Cal, and I think that's really what San Jose State thought. Said, hey, this could be our next guy. So I think definitely Luke Weaver should be starting, but if you're the 2, 3, 4, they got to stay ready. You got Robbie out there. He's had a lot of touches in camp. So again, they just all have to stay ready. But Luke Weaver, I think, is the guy that needs to take San Jose State far.
I've been calling San Jose State just kind of wide receiver U of Northern California as a whole. Regime they've gotten rated in the portal, and then they just kind of reload it in that position. I don't really know what to make of the receivers this year.
Yeah, actually, I talked to Coach Stutz about this a month or so ago in that last after spring game, and then he really said that there's not one receiver that there's not one like clear wide receiver one.
Right.
He said more it's like a 3, 4, 5. It's like 5 really good wide receivers. So that brings us to our next point. Obviously we saw Nick Nash with the Triple Crown. Daddy Scudero led the nation in receiving. And is there going to be another guy this year, or is it just going to be like receivers all splitting, like maybe getting all 400 yards each?
Right.
And I think for San Luis State, I think that would definitely benefit him, though. Obviously, I mean, we saw like you got to make somebody else beat you, and we saw what they did to Danny throughout that end of the year. I mean, they're on Danny, so I think if you just get 3, 4, 5 guys that just are really good and that could all be a receiver 1 or 2, then I think that's the best choice for you.
If you were to say one, just based on your guess, I guess wide receiver 1 is your prediction, and that it's a pretty deep room once again. Who would you say is I guess who emerges as the quote unquote the guy in the spread and shred?
Yeah, honestly, this is gonna kind of might be a hot take, but I think Malachi Riley. I think his injury last year. I mean, that was definitely a big blow for sure. But I think Malachi, when healthy, I mean, he has what it takes. He has the tools. Obviously knows them too. I think that could definitely be my receiver 1.
Slot guy. We already know how the feasts. The slot receiver just feasts in the spread and shred. A lot of unknowns. I mean, you got like Dominic McKenzie, like only special teams. You got Anthony Ivey from Penn State, who played in like 1 game. You got Jerry McClure last year for San Diego State. He had 1 catch, and that team didn't throw the ball at all. Malachi Riley, like he was an Arizona recruit, had 1 catch at Arizona 2 years ago. Got injured in the first quarter in week 1 versus Central Michigan. So there's a lot of unknowns there.
Yeah.
Jabari Bates is a full go. He's 100% healthy. Players told me. Offensive line's got some major shifts. You said the defense might be a little bit underrated. I mean, it can't get much worse than what it was last year.
Yeah.
I guess what makes you think about that San Jose's defense is just going to have this massive step in the right direction?
Yeah, I think just Boje. I mean, I think Boje, having him out there, he lives and breathes defense. And, no disrespect to him or anything. I mean, he was obviously a Spartan for a time, but I think really they just kind of needed to change the scenery there. From what I've been seeing in practice, I mean, secondary looks pretty good. Pass rush, I've seen a few of that as well. So I think really, it really does look promising. And I think definitely if you have a stable offense, and I mean that defense is what we think it is, then I think it could definitely a special season.
Yeah, very intrigued for the newcomers in the Mountain West. I was talking with Niles a little bit earlier. Like, non-conference is very tricky. You're a 35-point versus USC. You got that bizarre game at Eastern Michigan on the road, 2 time zones over. I mean, you got it 6 days removed from the USC game.
Yeah.
What do you make of the schedule this year? Because last year's schedule, they played 6 first-year head coaches. Wow. They avoided Boise State and UNLV. In the middle of the pack, they got at home, and they played all the teams that were projected to be bad on the road, and they had themselves a soft non-conference, and they won 3 games. What do you make of the 26 schedule as a whole?
Yeah, I think the schedule, I mean, if you look at it, is definitely tougher this year, right?
Yeah.
Definitely tougher than last year. I mean, starting off with USC, obviously, like you mentioned, 35-point underdogs. That could be an 0-1 start, but then once you travel to Eastern Michigan, that's really when you want to start getting that momentum back there. I mean, if you come out of that road trip I think I think you should be happy, because then you'll have all these home games. You'll play, I believe, Cal Poly first home game.
Yes.
Yeah, Cal Poly, and then I think that's just a good. What I will say about USC though, is last year obviously San Jose State got blown out by Texas. What was it, 38-7?
Yeah, something
Something
crazy.
like
They were in it. They were in the first quarter, and then I would say more so of Texas asleep at the wheel. Still something.
Yeah.
Those lines.
And I've been saying it from last year. That game definitely could have been closer. Because Walker Eager, we've seen him get a big stretch with a single interception, and against Texas, that's what they had. I think if they if they just play, obviously it had to be a perfect game in order for them to win. But definitely could have been closer. It definitely could have. I mean, Texas did not play their best game that day either.
Yeah.
And it definitely could have been closer. That's why USC, I think you just never know. I mean, USC is favored, but I think they've shown in the past that they could fight with these non-conference teams.
Yeah.
I think I mean, who knows? In a few months, we might be looking at when San Jose State pulls off one of the greatest upsets of the season. And but it's just we'll see. I think it's definitely going to be exciting.
My thoughts on the USC game. I think it's a peer evaluation game on just your entire team. I think they'll score some points in the game, but Lincoln Riley and USC will have the boys ready. And honestly, they're going to drop over 50.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're not going to sugarcoat it here.
Yeah.
But San Jose, I think, will score some points in that game.
Yeah, definitely.
Because USC's defenses have been very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Is you get prediction, but do you think San Jose stays this year better than? I mean, you think they get back to a bowl? Is what
I think they get back to a bowl. Yeah, I think definitely. I think bowl. I mean, they've shown the last few years that getting to a bowl is like a standard. So I think definitely. Yeah, so I think definitely I'm getting back to a bowl. 7-8 wins. I could definitely see. Yeah. So definitely 7 to 8 wins. I think that's definitely realistic.
Yeah.
I think again, there's games that I mean, we look at last year. I mean, Air Force, a loss that probably should have been a win. I mean, going back to Central Michigan week 1, that was definitely. I mean, just another. It's really just those games that came down to just a few execution plays, and I think that's why. That's really the difference between a bowl game and a 3-9 season. And I think just as long as it's cleaned up this year, I really don't see why San Jose State won't make a bowl game.
Right on, man. Well, we'll be definitely catching up with you down the road. We got UNLV rolling in right now.
Right.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me, Nick.
Absolutely. There you have it. Hadi Barghouti with the Spear with San Jose State. You guys, whenever you guys are ready, we got the UNLV Rebels, coming in hot here. Nick, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Right, guys, Mike's hot. We got the UNLV Rebels coming in here. We got Lucas Conti on defense line. We got Jet Thomas at the running back position. Pretty good year for the Rebels last year.
Sure.
I mean, heck, you guys are in the Mountain West Championship. Not the result you wanted. Coach Dan Mullen did a hell of a job. I guess they're all focused on 2026 right now, but 2025 was a pretty good one. Just like on last year for a little bit.
I want to say, we had a great year last year. We made it all the way to the championship. We fell short, but all in all, just for it to be a new team, new organization, new coach, it was great.
We fell short, and I think this year has just been an emphasis on finishing because a lot of those games that we fell short on, we did not put our best game. So finishing is definitely part of what we're improving.
10-4 overall last year, 6-2 in the West. Pretty nice schedule this year. You guys play a lot of quality teams. I know there's a lot of people think that you guys got a chance to do some special things just like last year. Just I guess talk to me about this Mountain West schedule, your non-conference opponents, and what we should expect here for Rebs.
First and foremost, I want to say you should expect a winning team. Every time we play on the field, we want to have that gritty mindset that we're tough to play. That this won't be a easy. And for our non-conference game, it's exciting to play Memphis, Cal, North Texas. Those would be some exciting games because it'll be my first time playing Memphis and NIU. I mean, not NIU, in North. And for the conference game, it's exciting to play North Dakota State, the Bison, and NIU. Just to the Mountain West. So I'm excited just to play those.
I think the holes got me excited, to be honest. Playing a team like Memphis, who's fast and physical, or even North Dakota, is just like their line's super talented.
Yeah.
It's just great to have opportunities to play against some really elite teams.
You're on the team last year, I guess. What made you to ultimately run it back for 2026 out here in the desert?
Sorry, what am I talking?
What I guess what sold you ultimately to run it back here with UNLV for 2026?
It's always that itch for a championship. So I have such a camaraderie with the guys on this team and the coaches on this team. So it'll just be really dear in my heart to get a championship with them.
Jet, you had a monster year at the running back position. I was saying numerous times, man, like this guy needs even more touches because he's just a freak out there. Over 1,000 rushing yards. LV 2026 again.
I came back because this was the first school who got an opportunity to play football, just to me, and finishing off a legacy that I want to place my names in record books here and showcasing that I am one of the great running backs to come out of the
Jackson Arnold at quarterback. Anthony Calandria departs. Here comes Jackson Arnold. Hasn't worked out at his two previous places, but now he gets a fresh start here in Las Vegas. What have you seen from him? Just commanding the offense out the offseason.
I've seen from him, just having the ability just to read defenses, which is very important in a quarterback position. It's arm talent. It's him just showcasing his leadership. He came from different schools, and just knowing him personally, he's a great guy. So I'm excited for him just to show who he is for this team.
Talk to me about playing at Allegiant Stadium. I know sometimes there's maybe with us media heads, I guess there's maybe like a little discourse because once upon a time that team was at Boyd Stadium. You guys were playing. Now you guys play with you guys share the stadium with the Raiders. Just talk to me about playing at Allegiant because I don't know how's as a player, stepping into that place. What is it like? Because it's not your typical college football, stadium, right?
It's great playing the stadium and just having the opportunity to play at NFL stadium is amazing because that's somewhere that we want to go in the future. And just the atmosphere there is great. The fans, just hearing the roaring, screaming, commentator, it's great to be there.
I love playing in the NFL stadium. I mean, it's a great opportunity, and you go to the lodge, it's like super nice. Everything's just super nice about it. So it's an amazing opportunity.
Talk to me about your defense for this year, because last year you guys were a little bit vulnerable, but you guys really tightened it up when you guys got into Mountain West play. I feel like you guys lose like a blue chip player on every dimension of your defense. Return along with plenty of others. What should we expect from the Rebel defense this year, and who are some guys that have really really emerged for 2026 during the offseason?
I'll say we got a good linebacker room, but a linebacker room has improved, and our communication overall has improved. I think that's been the main part. We have a lot of talent. Last year we had so much talent, and just the communication was the issue. And then I think additions like Mike Shear coming back will definitely be on the communication aspect.
Offensive guys are more dynamic offenses in all of the sport last year. You were a big part of that, but this wide receiver room kind of gets retooled a little bit. I guess is a player that's really emerged on the offensive side of the ball that we maybe don't not know it, but we will know by the time this starts.
Caden McGee. We have Tavian McNair, Tayshawn Lyons. Those are some key names that I want the audience to focus on for this upcoming season. They've been working their tails off. Everyone in the receiver room has been working their tails off. Really, I'm excited just to see Tay. He was a first up, and just seeing his ability, I believe he can add a great addition to our team this year.
You guys played in some crazy games last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fourth quarter games, for both of you guys on that side of the ball, doesn't get too much better than that. Just what is it like at crunch time? When your hair is kind of fire, you got to go make a play, out there for the team.
For I can say, I was born to make plays. That's one thing I can say. Just fourth quarter crunch time. It's crunch time, so everyone want to have that the eagerness just to make a play, but just knowing when and why you're doing it is the most important thing. So I would say just having that grit and just having that underdog mentality of just winning, like determined to not be stopped.
Talk to me about Dan Mullen. Obviously, he's got the coaching background speaks for itself, but he's quite the personality.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was only on ESPN broadcasting games and in the studio. How is he like as a coach, as a competitor, as a motivator, and as a leader for you guys on a day-to-day basis?
Mullen's a great coach. Even for practice, he wakes us up. Like he keeps us on the edge. We're always excited to practice, but once he steps on the field, he gives us our little speech. We just go out there and handle business, and it's exciting just to play for him, knowing his background, knowing who he's coached, knowing his resume, and it's really exciting.
It's great having Dan Mullen as a coach. You can tell when he comes in the building, he's a championship caliber coach, and he's done it before, and I think he'll do it again. So it's great to have that type of potential in a coach.
Right on, guys. Appreciate the time. Best of luck in 2020. Based out in San Jose, so we'll see you towards the back end of the season. UNLV, San Jose State. Looking forward to the matchup, and best this year.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. There you have it. UNLV running back Jet Thomas. You guys are all good. Thank you. They got some to roll on. We're gonna get things. We're gonna just continue right here through it because we got the UTEP minors rolling in. We got the offensive players. How we doing? You guys can sit right over here. Nick, nice to meet you. EJ, nice to meet you. Mike's hot right here, guys. If you guys don't mind sharing that. We got the UTEP offensive players here. We got Cam Thomas. We got EJ Colson. This one for you guys. Pretty blinged out over here.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Right on, man. Talk to me about, your move, to UTEP.
Yes, sir.
You're going to be commanding this offense this year.
Yes, sir.
How has the whole transition been, from IDub to UTEP?
Oh, yeah. It's been amazing. I can just truly say it's been smooth and just, kind of taking on that leadership role of just making sure everything is done right and we're detailed in everything we do. So it's just truly been a blessing, just finally be up back to the FBS level and just truly ready to go out there with my team and just go 1-0 every week.
For you, only played one game last year, right? You were sidelined for the most part with injury. Talk to me about coming back. I know you've been a Scotty Walden guy through and through.
Yeah.
Your level of excitement just to get back here in 2026 on the field.
It's been, it's been a process, especially like coming back at CL and stuff like that. I think it's a long journey, but I had a good support. My brother going, and I had Jaden Smith to go through it with me. So like we training together, we crying together, we in those extra hours together. I think CJ, athletic trainer, has put in a great round for me to get back. Coach Elliott got me back to exactly where I was, running 22 miles per hour and stuff like that. So I think I'm very healthy and ready to roll, honestly.
UTEP loses their top 7 pass catchers from 2025. Who else do you expect to emerge here and be a big part of your offense in the wide receiver room?
Harvard, we brought in transfer. Jaden Smith coming. Like I said, Jaden Smith is probably one of the best receivers I probably played. And Evan Brown come back. Jeremiah Nash, Roy Capel. Really, the whole receiving room, like Marcus Torres, like the whole receiving room can go. We're interchangeable, like, and we love to see each other win in that room. So I think everybody's ready to go. So those a few names I can name off the top of my head.
I asked your defensive guys about playing at Sun Bowl. It fits the Mountain West footprint. From a geographical point. I mean, you guys are only playing in the mountains. Yeah. I mean, talk to me about that iconic stadium people know the history of it, but I feel like does it get enough love overall? Maybe that's just me, but I mean, talk to me about going to work every Saturday in that place.
I think people have to come out and see it for themselves. Like it's genuine, like beautiful. Like we're working out in a way when we see the Sun Bowl, like, and we see Urias over there, just like, and just see like the mountains, like see like, bro, it's phenomenal. Like it's probably one of the best stadiums. Like you can't get enough of it. Like I catch myself, like I go to the stadium around like at nighttime, like, bro, this is a blessing. Like then like on the Saturday night when the Sun Bowl is packed and you're walking down the mine shaft, it's a cool scene. I think you can't get enough of it. You have like people have to come see it in person just to like experience the full Sun Bowl.
Yeah, we got. I'm out in San Jose. San Jose goes there this year, so
you'll see.
I might have to make it out there. I think October 17th, SJSU at UTEP. EJ, what's it like slinging the football around during practice in that building?
It's amazing. Like you said, like just the whole aesthetic of everything. Just actually being inside a mountain while you're playing or practicing is truly amazing. And you just look at it as like how great it is. We have to match that. So we just ready. Like I said, we're ready to go out and have fun. And just can't wait to out the Sun Bowl. And just bring back those old rivalries that the fans remember.
You guys are newcomers in the Mountain West.
Oh yeah.
You were around for the the CUSA stuff. For you, did you like playing on the Tuesday nights and stuff?
I hated it. No shade to CUSA, but
sure.
But I genuinely didn't like it because like it just throws you off just completely. Like we're practicing today, getting ready for a game on Tuesday, and then had to go to class on Wednesday. Like it was just a lot. And then like you forget what day it is. Like you think it's Saturday, but it's really like Tuesday or something like that. But it's terrible. Like it's not terrible, but then like you go play, it feels like a scrimmage almost. Like it doesn't feel real. Like it doesn't. You don't get that Saturday that pregame like jitter like that. Like those locker room speeches. It doesn't hit the same as it was a Saturday night.
Right.
It's a Tuesday night. Knowing like, all right, we get back at 1:00 in the morning. I gotta wake up in class at 9. Like it's not the same.
Hey, I love the insight. I love the see there, because you guys got the national spotlight.
Pros,
had its pros, has its cons. For guys like you. Now you guys play on Saturday. You guys are gonna get at the amount of those primetime games. You're gonna like the schedule, I imagine, a lot 100%. Better. How has the chemistry been with you guys on and off the field? For you as a newcomer and a quarterback, you've already been named a starter. So, what has that been like for you? Working with a new set of receivers and just hitting the ground running because you got it for week 1.
It's been amazing. Like I said, it's been a smooth transition. Certainly with guys like Cam and Jado. They've kind of made my job easier. So their IQ level of just being able to understand like how communicating and being able to get that to their guys and be like, okay, this is what he's looking at, this is what he's seeing. So it's been very smooth and just like you said earlier, like we got some guys in that room and they're interchangeable. And I feel like we're gonna make something really, but just really speaking on him, like. Just how hard he's worked, just to get back. And like he said, he's back running 22, 23 miles per hour. So it's just been amazing. Like, we hang out, we do our thing, but then we also, come in and get our work done and just make sure, we're at the best of, our abilities and just go out there and have fun.
People who haven't watched you in your career, maybe hearing on the EJ Colson tape, how would you describe your game, as the man commanding the offense?
I just say one word, playmaker. That's all. Yes, sir.
Right on. Talk to me about Coach Walden.
Oh, yeah.
You already know him through and through, all the way back to the Austin P days.
Yes.
Talk about that guy, the character. Just him as a motivator of men. And what I love about him, just from him just seeing and covering, UTEP before you guys made the transition to the league. This guy's got the spirit, man.
He does. Honestly, like the person you see on TV, the person you see on the sidelines, like just fired up. That's him every day at 5:00 in the morning. That's at day 14 of fall camp. That's him. Game 10 of the season, late in the season. Like that's him. It's a genuine coach. Like he like I can go back to the Austin P days. Like say we're playing Tennessee. Like you go back and watch the Austin P versus Tennessee game. Like he's going to get the team ready to play regardless of who it is. Like we may not Austin, we didn't have the roster to compete with a Tennessee like that. But like throughout I'm college space, we didn't like. But you go back and watch that game and watch how hard the guys played. Like he's gonna make the team like believe we can win every game, and he does it here, and that's how he coaches us, and that's how we're gonna put it on tape every single week in and week out. We know we're gonna win this game. Like that is our mindset. Like we go into every game, like we play Oklahoma, we're gonna go game to win that game. Like regardless of who it is, it could be the New England Patriots, it could be the Green Bay Packers. We're Coach Walton gonna fire us up. We're gonna watch that film. We're gonna during practice. We're gonna practice hard. Like we're gonna do everything in our power to go and win that game. He motivates us that way.
Is that what really sold you on just the whole process of, coming to El Paso with Coach Walden?
They definitely, I would say, first and foremost, Coach Walden, just the type of person he is. Like you said, it's always going to be the same Coach Walden. And, he had his family around on my visit, just seeing the type of father he was, the husband he was, and, just being around him, throughout my time here, it's just been truly a blessing to have a role model. But then this, kind of like the deal maker. He was my host, and just everything he kind of like just laid out for me, and just the way we were gonna go out and compete each and every week. Like I knew that this is a guy that I wanted to throw to, and this is a guy I wanted to go to battle with. So yes, sir.
Right on, guys. Hey, best of luck this season for 2026.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully have a good grasp and on coverage wise on the UTEP minors all throughout the season.
Yes,
so appreciate the time,
yes,
and
appreciate
I got Sun Bowl on the list
let's do it.
for 2026.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. It's gonna be
right
be a
on,
blessing.
guys.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate the time. Enjoy the time here today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Right on. UTEP minors with Cam Thomas and EJ Colson. UTEP guys really cool. Offensive, so credit to them. Out here representing newcomers with the very good insight with Cam Thomas, talking about how he liked playing on the Tuesday and Wednesday nights in the CUSA, how he had a full schedule essentially. And when you play Saturdays in the non-conference and then you go to playing on Tuesday, Wednesday nights, like anything, it's got its cons. But as a player and a guy like him that's pretty well experienced as well, from P to UTEP, definitely was not in love with it. So we're gonna do ourselves a decent let's see, we got ourselves an event in New Mexico coming up, so we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna probably have the Nevada Wolfpack, the New Mexico Lobos, and then we'll call it for this stream here, and then we'll have our afternoon session stream. That'll get ignited on Twitter. So if you're listening on the Twitter side, that will be, you just go to Nick Urias _ on Twitter. That'll be on there. If you're listening on the YouTube side, it's going to be a separate stream on the YouTube channel. So that will be that. So we're going to take a short break, probably around 5 minutes. We'll come back. My plan is to take a deeper dive on the rosters. I'll pull up the schedules once again. I'm going to actually pull up the preseason, not the preseason poll, but the All Mountain West preseason list. We'll dive into that and, talk about it, give my thoughts on it. And, we'll go from there. We'll some more player interviews. We got up and in before hour, and then we'll go from there and fire away into the afternoon. So again, appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you're coming in and out, if you missed, replay will be available at the end of the stream, and on YouTube we'll upload everything individually within the next couple as well, so you don't have to go searching for the entire length of the stream. If you want to hear a certain interview or if you miss something, that will be available at your disposal very shortly after the stream concludes. So like I said, we're going to take a break. I'm going to go grab some H2O. Going to see if we can get anybody else on, and we'll go. Probably at the same time. Okay. Once I get okay, sounds good. Okay, well, actually, yeah, we're gonna have just chatted with the Nevada guy right now. He'll be coming in. So we'll be back in like 2 minutes. We'll call it. Grab some H2O. Gonna get reboosted on my end, and then we'll have everybody sitting down right now. So that's that. We'll be back. Cheers.
I hate to say that. No, no. Pretty good. All right, nailed it. And we started to make this. Okay.
Welcome back to live football and media news. Hey, perfect. I'll take them. All right, we got the. How's it going, EJ? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. All right, we got the Nevada Wolfpack here. We're gonna just fix the camera. Make sure everything's all. How you guys doing?
Good. How you
doing? Good. Sorry for the technical. Perfect. Yep. How are we feeling about Nevada this year, guys? 2026, obviously not the year you guys wanted the year prior. But you guys, just talk to me about the level of confidence here out there in Reno for this year.
I think everybody over here at the University of Nevada, we're just ready to prove everybody wrong. We're just ready to prove everybody that we're winners, and last season wasn't really us. So just coming into this season, I'm just excited to just show everybody, and I think the team's just excited about what we're going to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think we just going to play with a huge chip on our shoulder and ready to prove people wrong and just show them we're a tough team.
I got the Nevada defensive player, EJ Smith, and right.
Close
Perfect.
enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're hey, I'm a broadcaster, so like it's I got you. Talk to me about defensive side of the ball for you guys. Jeff Cho, I always said he's always been, kind of an underrated coach, even though the numbers might not speak for it since he's been at Reno.
Yep.
He comes up with some master game plans, and you guys, some spots have delivered. Nevada defense in 2026. What's store for them in this unit, and even for you guys individually?
I think just a lot of people, they just gonna see us flying around on the field, just showcasing our talents. They're gonna see how really fast, physical, and fearless we are on the defensive side of the ball this year. So I'm excited to show people that.
I agree. I think we're just going to be a physical defense. That's just going to be smash mouth football, knock you around a little bit, have some fun. I'm excited for that. Our guys have been working hard. I'm so proud of our defense. I'm so proud of how far we came. And I think we're just I would say kick some ass, but I just said it. I guess I can't say that. All right. Yes, sir.
I mean, pretty monster year for you last year. I mean, obviously replicate those numbers. You want to be just as good. I mean, I guess what's the next gear to your game here? Because you've obviously set a high for yourself.
Yeah, awesome year last year. I'm very, represent that, but it's the teammates too. It wasn't me, coaches, and I think we just all been working together to help each other out. And as long as our team does good, man, as long as we can win some games, I'm happy. So I'm just gonna go out there and have fun.
Stadium. I know you guys are trying that place ignited. Obviously, winning will, help for you guys. You guys go up against that odds every single day. Flipping to the other side of the ball. What have you seen from that unit? I know there wasn't a lot of pop and firepower within it last year. Should we expect some improvements here?
Yes, improvements. I'm very how they played in spring ball. It's a fast pace. I keep going offense, and I'm just saying, man, I know those guys got something to prove. Even they got the biggest chip on their shoulder, and they go out there to work every day, and they're getting better every day. And I'm just excited to see what they're going to show.
I think after last year with the offense a lot, we have a very new receiver room. And I feel like just the QB position, I feel like three of those guys that's in that battle, AJ Bianco, Carter Jones, and Luke Dunn, like all three of those guys could come out and be the guy for us. So I have full faith in our offense that they're going to come out with a chip on their shoulder and prove themselves.
What do you guys make of the new landscape of the mountains. You know, you guys are gonna have your non-conference opponents that you play once in a blue moon. But you guys are gonna have some new destinations to conquer with some new opponents. Obviously, you got your normal cast of characters. You know, the San Jose's, the Air Forces of the world, of course. But just talk to me about the level of excitement to maybe create some new rivals.
Shoot, I love competition. These new teams is more competition, just different places that I've never been to before. So I just feel like this new conference is just more competitive and it's going to be very physical.
Yeah, like you said, just to go, new things to see, new teams to play. I'm excited. I think it's going to be awesome, and I think it's just going to be a great year for the whole conference.
You guys are on the defensive side of the ball. You guys said that there's gonna be a lot of guys flying around. Larry Turner Gooden, I'm out in San Jose, former San Jose State Spartan. What has he showcased himself? Not to single him out, but he was a guy that was, on my neck of the woods. Now he's, on your. What have you seen from him in representing the Wolf in the short time he's been there?
Yeah, he's a player. As soon as he got here, I knew he was a player. He flies around. He's a good guy, all around good teammate. I've been very impressed with him.
I've actually known Larry. We're both from LA. I was around like 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
So honestly, like ever since that age, he's just been a hard worker. And honestly, it has progressed to his older years in life. He just came in, put his head down, and he knew what we wanted out of him. And he's over excelling at that during our spring ball, summer sis, and all that.
Give me a player on the defensive side of the ball for Nevada that maybe Mountain West fans don't know right now, but will know by towards the end of the year.
I feel like one guy that people don't really know about who's been putting in the work. I've seen since I first got to the University of Nevada. I would say Pink.
We're gonna write him down then. We'll put it in bold and underline it and everything. That's really so far.
I mean, coming into college, he wasn't the most mature guy, and
move that up a little. Move it up a little bit.
In the college, like he was a mature guy, and just seeing that year after year after year, and just seeing who he's becoming as a person, just off the field, it's just success all around in your life. So I feel like Dane, he's gonna bring a nice little energy to this defense that we haven't had.
What do you guys? I always say the San Jose and the rivalry is just an interesting one. Obviously, you guys took San Jose State to church last year, but the past couple of years, I mean, San Jose State has had the better record, but when it comes down to it, that's what makes conference games so special. Is because it always turns into I don't want to say classic, but it turns into a nail biter. What makes that head matchup always so close? I know last year was not the case, but San Jose State and Nevada have had some really good battles.
I agree. The year prior was a close one. I was there. Yep. That was a good game. That was right. And I mean, it's an interesting kind of dynamic between the last. I mean, I can't speak for years prior before that, but the last 2 years were just kind of a little bit different style of play.
Yep.
And I think it's come together and just how out against each other. It's interesting to me.
What do can you guys? I was thinking San Jose State has not won at your place since the year 2000.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a long time. That was before I was born.
Yeah, I know. I mean, heck, I wasn't even born.
Yeah, what the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's got ownage on some, right? In the conference. That's what makes it so great. Talk to me about your head coach, Jeff Choate. Year 3, kind of back on all of his teams. Year 3 is when he kind of really hits his stride and kind of really, puts the program together, really takes a step in the right direction. Talk to me about him as a motivator of men, and what on a day-to-day basis for you guys.
Yeah. I think the whole team has the utmost belief in him. Walks what he talks. I think he backs everything up. I think he's just a great motivator, a great speaker, and all around. I have nobody else for the job besides that man. He's the man.
I think Coach Cho, like you said, he's the man. He's a leader. I think the biggest thing with Coach Cho is just off of the football field. He's really like another father figure towards us. He just wants the best. He's just not a coach to you, but like a father figure is always going to be a leader for the team.
Right on, guys. Well, we'll definitely be monitoring you guys all year long. San Jose State plays at Reno this year again. So we'll see how that materializes. I think that's October 24th, Saturday. I'll try to make it out to the game. And best of luck this year. And yeah.
Sweet. Thank you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you. There you have it. Nevada Wolfpack defensive guys, EJ Smith and Dylan LaBarrera. Yeah, look, he was shocked. Dylan was shocked by the San Jose State numbers. Not winning there in 26 years. Shout out to Travis. He says, let's go SJSU. Thanks for tuning in, Travis. Appreciate you a ton. Yeah. Good stuff with the Nevada guys. I see their offensive players on the other side here. We'll see if they come roaming in, to the table. Talking to the boys from UNLV media guys. Dylan had himself a monster year last year. Kind of overshadowed by just because of the team results last year. But man, he was incredible. Fremont Mountain West, 16.5 tackles for loss. Throw in, 6 sacks in there as well. Just all over the place. Top defensive lineman in the Mountain West. Man, honestly made a case for him to be in defense here. They gave it to Jackson Eck, no surprise. In fact, actually load this up as well. This is the all Mountain West defense list. You see Dylan LaBarrera in there. Brian Booker, Mexico. We'll get Brian Booker here in a little bit. Lobo D lineman. Keenan Wilson, Lucas Conti. We had Conti on there. He had himself a great season with the Rebels. Jemai Otis, he was here last year. We'll be talking to him after Hawaii's breakout 2025 campaign. He's back at Mountain West Media Days for the second year in a row. Jackson Eck at the linebacker position. Ethan Stolzatz for Wyoming. We'll talk to him later as well. Elijah Palmer, DB for Hawaii. Aiden Walker for Nevada. Darius Givens and Jake Pope to round it all off. That's your Mountain West defensive list. Preseason, all those guys returned last year, so that's what the deal was. They weren't gonna, give it to, somebody that's practically a newcomer. So, totally makes sense there. We're gonna go ahead and load up the offense as well. Let's take a peek here. Here we go. Preseason All Mountain West. Mike Alejado representing preseason offensive player of the year. No surprise there. I'd say he's probably the most proven returner at quarterback. I'd put Alejado higher in my rankings than Jack Lane if you ask me. Even though Alejado's got to stay healthy this year because durability has been he's not been durable. He's got to protect himself in a sophomore campaign. We'll talk about that with him later. Pofele Ashlock's a character. We talked to him last year. He's an awesome dude. Troy O'Meara for New Mexico. Tayshawn Lyons for the Rebels. Owen Allen, Jaden Thomas. You see the list up here on youtube.com/@the-sports-sentiment, or if you're tuning in on the Twitter side. No San Jose State players listed on here. We did not talk about special teams. They got 3 specialists on here. Go ahead and hit that. I'm going to go ahead and say no Matsuzawa for Hawaii. If he would have came back, he would have, been obviously on this list. I'm gonna go ahead and say, and I honestly don't know too much of the specialists for the kickers. There's a lot of new kickers this year. Like New Mexico's kicker graduated. Hawaii's got a new kicker. San Jose State's got a new kicker. The specialists are fairly new. I'm going to go ahead and say that you'll have some postseason awards for Trajan Sinatra. I think that's going to be I'm going to go ahead and say that for San Jose State, just because San Jose State, I think, is going to really rely on the kicking position this year. I mean, can't get much worse from a number standpoint at that spot with field goals. So, I mean, we'll see how that plays out, for in that regard. But no disrespect to like these guys, but there's going to be somebody that emerges that nobody sees coming. Obviously, you got your notable returners in the Mountain West, but that's what makes it so great. There's always a hidden gem. Comes in, rises to the occasion, and really makes a name for themselves. So very intrigued and to see how all these teams develop. There's going to obviously be teams that, like any team in any conference in any sport, there's going to be teams that exceed expectations and fall below. That's the thing about these media days. Everybody feels good about their team now. And then come week 4, week 5, that could. So that's what everybody's 0-0 right now. Everybody feels like, yeah, we love team. Chemistry's great. But when adversity kicks in, who's going to respond? And that's what's going to separate, a lot of these teams, because Mountain West was very wonky last year. It's kind of always been. It's not as wonky like some other G5 conferences, but all teams beat up on each other last year. Like, look at San Jose. They beat Hawaii and New Mexico, who were like top 5. So, I mean, like the conference didn't really make a whole lot of sense on a week-to-week basis. I think you kind of saw like towards maybe the back end of the year, all these teams like the Colorado States and those teams that were kind of mailing it in, gigantic underdog, and you kind of knew they just didn't have enough firepower to get across the finish line. So that was that, but early on, I mean, some of the results weren't making a lot of sense. San Diego State was a pleasant surprise. New Mexico just hit the ground running, and they passed the eye test in week 1. There was a lot of San Diego State and New Mexico kind of towards the bottom of the league. I mean, I think everybody did, but and then they just come out and show up and show out. Always interesting, just to see that brew, into something, and that's why we come out here. We try to get a grasp on these teams. Already said, like, relationships are important. Like talking to the players, getting insight on the team, and you're just being ahead of the curve with all this is awesome. It's great catching up with a couple media guys. We had some of the San Jose State media guys on as well, just kind of come in and fill in some time for us. So appreciate them. Niles Hall, Hattie Barghouti, talking San Jose State football, talking Mountain West football, and San Jose. Consensus is they're going to kind of be a middle of the pack team. At least what we kind of think, even though they kind of say they're going to probably be a mystery team. Defensively, like, they could stop the run. That's the big one to me. A lot of run heavy. Week 1, Michigan, run heavy. Nevada's scheme this year. They're going to be able to be a little bit more pass heavy, but Wyoming's going to ground and pound it. North Dakota State is going to keep it on the ground. Air Force triple option will speak for itself, right? So, like, you see where I'm going here. There's going to be a lot of teams. Northern Illinois, we're going to talk to their running back, Telly Johnson. absolute freak last year in the Mid-American Conference. So there was a lot of talented backs. Jet Thomas for UNLV, right? So San Jose State, if they want a chance to compete, flirt with the bowl eligibility once again, run defense is going to be essential. And obviously that kind of just goes without saying. Even Fresno, like if it's not right by week 4, Fresno's going to run times a game 50 times a night. They're going to move the sticks and have average 5 yards a carry. That's what I'm mainly looking for the San Jose State Spartans. Who's making plays on the D line? How does that develop? Are they going to be able to get off the field on third down this year? Can they get Can they get the right stop? Can they avoid miscues such as penalties? It's going to be very interesting. We got some comments in here. SJSU football entrances, right on. Appreciate for you tuning in. This team's going to have a tough time stopping the run. Super undersized on the D line. Yeah, they are undersized. I mean, they lost some guys in the portal. A guy that people really didn't talk about that they lost, and he kind of was making plays for them at the back end of the year, and he was only like a redshirt freshman, was Urias Moy. He went to Utah, and it really it was a move that nobody really acknowledged. I mean, quite frankly, I didn't really acknowledge it either. And I think that could be a potential loss because he was kind of in the middle of that defense. The San Jose State players talked up Solomongi as a guy that's really stepped up on the D line for them. Justin Stern's going to have to be really sure. And it's going to be the most enhanced role he's had in his entire career. He was, a guy that came off the bench for the entirety of his career. He's going to have to step in and really be a big time piece. We know he's a great leader. We know that he's going to, speak his mind and think that, but the impact on the football field, he's got to go out to plays. He's got to make tackles. He's got to, beat the guys, on the line of scrimmage, on the edge. I'm going to see how that plays out. Like with the comment that we just posted, run defense, gonna have a tough time stopping the run. Well, I mean, time will tell. But if that run defense if we're talking about the run defense every week and how it's subpar, the San Jose State team is not going to be where they want to be, where they hope to be. So we're gonna see how that develops, how that grows. Not really worried about the linebacker play, like I said. I'm more so worried about everybody, D-line, and, secondary, maybe a little bit. I'm interested to see what that looks like. The corners, they talked about Keywan Bullard. I think Bullard might actually start for this team. He's been here forever. I think I don't know if he was a Brent Brennan recruit. Heck, he might have been. He's been here for 4 or 5 years, and he's been a special teams guy. So I think his time's up. I think you're going to see him on the field for San Jose State in the secondary. I think Brian Dukes, and again, this is just speculation. I have no idea what that depth chart looks like because the coaches themselves are still figuring it out. But this is just me making my best guess. I think you're going to have a healthy dose of Keywan Bullard, Isaiah Buxton, the San Jose State transfer at the cornerback position. You'll have Brian Dukes Jr. I've talked about him a ton. 4-year guy from Cal Poly, and he's a 5th-year senior. He's got no years after this, so he's going to give it his all. We yet to talk about Pierce Walker, the transfer from Portland State. They brought him in as safety as well. Interested to see what that role is under an underclassman, but did play with the Portland State Vikings last year. So again, defense, very interesting unit because they essentially have no guys outside of Ethan Powell that we've seen on the field. At at a consistent level going to the 2025 camp. I'm interested to see how that goes, and how that whole thing develops. We got some people floating around. We got the New Mexico guys on the far end. See Nevada's guys here as well. Nevada and New Mexico are on radio right now. We're gonna try to flag all these people down to get them for a couple sit downs. So some highlights, from what we've done thus far is San Jose State. We talked to all their players, all 4 of their players. They say quarterback competition still up there. Offensive line is looking mean with Coach Ramson Golfison. And defense, we've been talking about it, but it's going to be a lot of new piece of puzzle this year. UTEP, they to be they're obviously the newcomer. I had them projected towards the bottom of the conference, just because I think there's their talent. But really enjoyed talking with those guys. What really stood out to me is just EJ Colson. I think the fact that he already named the starter is pretty big. Like, they're obviously very firm with him. I think UTEP's receivers, like having Cam Thomas back, he's the guy. They need him to break out, and I think he will break out. So for that wide receiver room, we talked about Nevada. Nevada squad. I think I'm interested to talk to their offensive guys. I think they're going to surprise some people. I really do. If you think Jeff Choate's going to roam around 3 wins like he did year 1 and year 2, I think that's going to be hard to believe. For Jeff Choate's group, they're going to be playing much more up tempo. I think they're going to upgrade at quarterback because that quarterback competition's still up for grabs. I mean, if I'm going to take a guess, I'm going to say that Luke Duncan's going to start, the UCLA transfer. And defensively, I think a step. Bringing back La Barrera. He's getting P4 offers, I believe. And I think that will be, pretty important. We got and tomorrow, if we're going for red zone and in short yardage, yes, I will ask about red zone packages. Much of an answer. Get a better answer from Coach Stutzman. Just because Coach Ken comes to these media day stuff, he is not going to reveal too much to me. But yes, I will follow through with Coach Ken and red zone and formation, things like that. And are they going to change it? And overall, where's the wide receiver room at right now? That is what I'm going to. That's going to be like number 1 for me. Certainly on the top of the list, because when the media was talking with A-State coaches after the spring game, Coach Stutzman very interestingly brought up that the wide receiver room, like, this is the most behind that they've been. And it's because they got some things to work on. Jerry McClure, they said, was their most consistent receiver all throughout spring. But there were guys that, made plays and then had silly mistakes, or they ran the wrong route, or, they're still trying to iron out the kinks. And that was back in April. because you're gonna have if they're not in a better place with that wide receiver room, um, you know, you're gonna have to hit ground running in non-conference. So that's what I'm looking for. We'll obviously get an update on the quarterback situation, even though there probably won't be one. We're gonna follow through with the Malachi Riley injury update because he was not a full go during the spring game. Jabari Bates was. Jabari Bates, running back for San Jose State. Malachi Riley was still ironed out. So I want to, if he's been a full go here post spring. I know Anthony Ivy had a boot during the spring practices as well. He had a boot on during the spring game. So we'll see. Try to get it if there's any follow up there, and just overall where things go for that team. Like, is there a scheme change for Bojay Filiamatu, defensive coordinator for San Jose State? I don't think there really is, but we'll follow through with that once again. To clarify, because they're gonna be like a wrinkle or two. Is there dramatic? They probably will change some stuff. For some of the guys, and maybe adjust it based on the plays within the linebacker spot and and those guys like that. But yeah, we'll just follow through with every San Jose State. Obviously, Coach Ken, I want to say he's been around forever, coaching wise. So I'd love to get his insight on the Mountain editions, the new Mountain West editions with North Dakota State. Practically played everybody. I actually don't play North Dakota State before. We'll actually ask. Because he's played almost every team in the country. We found out 2 years ago that he never played a game at Washington State. So that was a first for him. He's been around forever, but the North Dakota State stuff compelling. We got some more stuff. Here. What was lacking in their O-line play and pass defense last season? Yeah, for sure. We'll ask about O-line play. I'd expect all better there. Just with Tyler Chen. Obviously, you wish Nate Hale comes back, but he had himself a really good year. Then he got hurt, and it wasn't right. I'll ask more about depth beyond Joseph Harbert and Tyler Chen, because those guys are penciled in, like we said. But the other three spots and what's behind it, what does that look like for them? Yeah, pass defense, they need a whole makeover in that department. I honestly wasn't. I was a little bit worried about the defense last year as a whole, because Jalen Thomas was not on our radar at all. How we doing? Good. Yeah, Jalen Thomas was not on our radar at all. And, he came out and sparked out of nowhere, and he played good, and then he allowed so many explosives, and then he goes to Washington State because his coach Greg Burns is at Washington State now, who the Spartans ultimately parted ways with as their East coach. Now bring in Brian Norr recently at ULA. I think that's a really good hire for SJSU. Just as a whole, I think at that position, right? So pass defense can't be much worse from what it was last year. I think gonna get better in that department, but I'll see where it's at. It was too many explosive plays. Go back to the stand here. for SJSU. The Stanford game was just because they had the lead. They had the lead. They were controlling the whole game. They punched Stanford in the mouth early in that game. Like Scudero had a touchdown. Kyrie Scholes had like the first touchdown of his career in that game. But come on, like Ben Goldbranson for the Stanford quarterback last year, who is a good quarterback. I'm sorry, he just wasn't. Like he commanded those Oregon State offenses, and he was a game manager of them. And he threw for over 400 passing yards. He was like a 7-year player. It was that was a career day. So it was too many explosive plays. And they weren't even like anything special. Like it's not like they were throwing like bombs over the top. It was just really bad tackling. It was really bad tackling at defense last year, and that's obviously something that's going to get corrected. So, I mean, they got to be better. Jalen Thomas was tackling good. Bader wasn't tackling good. Those guys in particular, not back for SJSU. But yeah, I want to update on the corners myself. How do they look out there? We'll certainly put it together when we get Coach Ken on tomorrow. Let's see if I have a time on when Coach Ken will probably be floating around Media Row for our San Jose State audience. He'll be around at 8:30 to 10 a.m. tomorrow. So to all of our San Jose State fans, tune in for that between that time frame. I'd love to see everybody here the whole time, but if you're looking for San Jose State stuff, and if you can't see it, if you can't tune in live, I will post the interview after the fact as well later on in the week, so you can go back rewatching good stuff. Got New Mexico guys still over here. I see the Nevada guys there. These guys haven't moved a nanometer. Everyone's taking their time right now, and that's all fine and dandy. Let's see where we're at here on the schedule. Let's see, 10:30 to 12. Okay, yeah, 10:30. So out of New Mexico, we want New Mexico. We already got half of the Nevada players. I want to get some of the New Mexico guys on. We got Jack Lane representing New Mexico here at Media Days. Micah Line for New Mexico on the offensive line. Brian Booker, defensive tackle, and Jackson Eck, son of Jason Eck, head coach for New Mexico, representing the linebacker spot. Was an absolute beast last year for the Lobos, big part of their success. Very interesting. I can't wait to talk to New Mexico. Always a good time. A lot of which I appreciate. Checking out our content. Hey, New Mexico. I've been there as a youngling. Kind of long overdue to go back, honestly. I got to get out there for the hot air balloon fest. That's around October time frame. If you want to go to New Mexico, people, you got to go. Have family out there, and always like people always say, you got to do it. You got to check it out. So it's certainly on my bucket list, even though I've never made it out there for that. So yeah, gotta make it out there. Shout out Matt Neverett, UNLV play-by-play guy. Just came to say hi. Great guy. We've done work for him in the past. Gotta get him on the podcast this year. Shout out to Ricky in the chat. Ask UNM how they plan to improve the pass game. Yeah, I will. I'll write that down. How can they create more turnovers on D? Yeah, and yes, you should attend the Balloon Festival. Yes, gotta go. Gotta absolutely go, Ricky. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm gonna write this down because I know New Mexico is gonna be coming up. We got Coach Jason Eck tomorrow, but I'll follow through with all of these guys about that stuff. Yeah, the San Jose State New Mexico game was a game where New Mexico turned over the ball 3 times and lost the game by 10. So yeah, turnovers were not kind to them. New Mexico had a Colorado State last year. Rams. CSU was down in dumps. This was when by the time they were horrid. They were horrid. CSU was, and New Mexico turned over the ball like 5 times in the game and still won. That tells you all you need to know about how CSU was. Go look back box score of that game. There had to be like 9 turnovers in the game. Very interesting.
I've got you watch Jackson. So they're doing this on switch. And then when you're done with those two,
perfect. Appreciate it. All right. Talking to the New Mexico Sports Information Director. Jackson Eck and Jack Lane coming in next. I don't know if we're going to get them both together. It's going to be on an individual level. See how that goes. Not worried about it either which way. But yeah, go look back at the New Mexico Colorado State box score from last year. It was ridiculous. It was one of the more crazy teams. Even though it was very off the radar, like kind of game, was much buried on on the slate. Like the game was on Mountain West Newark. I don't blame anyone if outside of New Mexico fans. There was way more high profile games that week. I certainly had my eyes all over it. That was one of the more crazier watches last year. In fact, I'm going to pull it up right now because it was actually pretty nuts. Let's see. Yeah, New Mexico won the game 20-17. I think they were like a 14-point favorite in the game. It was November 2025, so it's back into the year. New Mexico had all eyes on Mountain West Championship aspirations at that point. It was back when they were 6-3. Yeah, CSU was terrible at this spot. 2-7 heading into this game. But I want to look at the turnovers in this one because there were 8 turnovers combined between both teams in that game. Yeah, see, I knew it was something ridiculous. And New Mexico still won. That's when you know they had an awesome year. But I'm going to ask them about the San Jose State stuff because that stuff's for real. I know San Jose State, both programs have had their dark spot where the program wasn't really up to par, and New Mexico as of late, and like New Mexico in the Dallas era, which is they couldn't get it together at all. And obviously we know San Jose State post Mike McIntyre and before Brent Brennan, those were some dark years for the Spartans. But still, San Jose State and New Mexico, the Spartans still own that series. 11-2 in the last 13 times they played in favor of the San Jose State. New Mexico hasn't won in San Jose since 1969. Just some incredible numbers. Leonard's in the chat. He is saying, if you're looking for fun, meow woof. I'll have some downtime today. I'm going. I think I'm gonna have to New Mexico. We'll fun. Okay. Sounds good. If not, yeah, we'll iron it out. Yeah. tomorrow, or excuse me, today and tomorrow. Yeah, going to be linking up with the fun here as well. So that'll be pretty fun. But we got business to attend to first. That's for the evening hours. Because the night is the sleep will come on Friday for me. Quite honestly, I never sleep on these Vegas trips. I never do. Even when I come out for the Mountain West tournament, I just know what. You're not going to sleep in this town. You're just not. So I mean, it is what it is. Especially when we get these crazy games. Man, I had a game earlier year. What was it? For March Madness, we had San Jose State versus New Mexico for men's basketball. The Mountain West tournament game is the quarterfinal game. Shout out to John. He came out here with me. We broadcasted the games. San Jose State versus Boise State, and then the quarterfinal game the day later. That was a 9:30 tip-off time. That's when it was scheduled, and then the game got pushed back because CB Sports had to run all their stuff, and they weren't ready, and they had to have the 30-minute grace period into games, and it was an absolute ref show like the game before. So it didn't the game didn't start until 10 p.m. Vegas time. So I'm literally leaving the Tom Hanks Center. It's almost 1 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just okay, that's fine, what it is. Yeah, I think that's the latest I've ever called a game. Just incredible. Earliest I've ever called a game. Probably it's nothing crazy. It's noon, maybe 11 a.m. Yeah, we normally don't get the early kickoffs. That's the beauty of doing Mountain West and San Jose State. Normally all those games are on Saturday, or they're on a primetime setting, and it's very doable. But yeah, that Mountain West tournament was an all-timer last year. With all the stuff that they had there. Still on hold for the New Mexico Lobos. Jack Lane's doing an interview with the Big Mountain podcast right now. They're right next to us. Shout out to our guys from the Pit Press. They're they're 2 booths down. Always good to catch up with those guys. They have Jack Eck right now, so they're gonna mosey their way over at some point in time. Actually had somebody come over and see if I wanted Gloria Navarez right now, but I told them New Mexico's up right now. I've waited for New Mexico long enough. Commissioner's obviously very important. If you guys, if anyone's got any questions for the commissioner, she ended up doing a 1 hour media scrum earlier. You could probably find it somewhere on the internet, but you gotta come. You got when we talk to Gloria, you gotta have 20 questions lined up, because she's not obligated to answer. I totally understand that. There's some stuff she can't talk about. Some people like to ask the heavy hitters. But if anyone has any Gloria, you could leave them in the chat. I don't know when we're gonna honestly have that conversation. Could be later in the afternoon. It could be tomorrow. Because one of the Mountain West representatives came up to me. He wanted to make that happen. We got a lot to ask Gloria. I see. So for the action, let's see what we got coming up. Just so everybody, if you joined us, there's going to be another stream for the afternoon session that will be happening later. Let's figure this out. Let's see. We're going to have. Okay, so we're going to have Air Force, Hawaii, North Dakota State later. With NIU in Wyoming. So that's that. So yeah. Looks like New Mexico got done with their interview. Let's see. a lot of chaos behind the scenes here. So everybody's been very accommodating. I appreciate it. Hospitality's off the charts here. So I appreciate everybody for your patience. But hey, we're just having some fun here. We're in Las Vegas. Can't ask for anything better. Mountain West Media Days, 2026 edition. Yeah. Good to be out here. And, you know, previewing the upcoming college football season. Since we're on the topic of the New Mexico Lobos, want to dive into a little bit more on them with Jason Eck. He's entering year 2. 9-4 season, 6-2 in the Mountain West. Winning his first year head coach in program history. Most wins since 2016 for New Mexico. So that was obviously massive for the Lobos. Obviously, bringing back Jack Lane was significant. There was some that he won them, and then there were some games where they probably wanted a little bit more. I feel like that's every Mountain West quarterback. You want consistency, and it's hard to be consistent every single week because some teams are going to bring their A game on weeks where you might not anticipate it. So that's that. They bring back James Lobstein. They really managed Lobstein well last year. Got to give Jason Eck a whole lot of credit because usually when you throw in 2 quarterbacks like that, it gets messy. Just ask the San Jose State fans 2 years ago. It could get very messy. Just reshuffling guys in and out. But the fact that New Mexico was able to manipulate just the shuffling on the fly with the 2 quarterbacks, and they both have different skill sets. Lobstein's a great runner, and they were running way more creative stuff when he was on the field. But the fact that they were able to do that middle of the drive, you got to give that coaching staff credit and the players a lot of credit. For knowing their role, understanding the play call, and high level. So back those quarterbacks is pretty important. For what they do there. Yes, Lane and Lobstein are going to be a big part of what they do. New Mexico back Scott Trey Humphrey at running back. Damon Bakeston took over RB last year. He is not returning. That's a big loss for New Mexico. He was dynamic. He was very dynamic, kicking the ball and running the ball out. He was kind of a multi-tool back that could really beat you in more than one way. And then they run it back. They don't run it back. DJ McKinney ended up graduating. He was like a former Sam Houston State Bearcat, longtime Bearcat. And then he went in some stuff with New Mexico last, very productive as well. So that was like a 3-headed monster in the backfield. And it worked out really well. And Jason Eck's an offensive line guy, so you already know he's going to, bring it on the O-line, which is no surprise at all. They were a good unit there up front a year ago. I mean, because the numbers spoke for itself. How about UNM? See, winning cures everything, and this is what it's all about. Because New Mexico, biggest attendance increase in the country last year, boosting it over 58% a year ago, from getting an average of 9,000 fans a game to 25,000 plus. So that was obviously, pretty big for UNM, and they were able, to get things going in that regard, and really kickstart it at a high level with their fans. Really turned into a legitimate home field advantage. I mean, hell, they stormed the field on the regular season finale for San Diego State, and they deserved to storm the field, and I'm glad they did. And man, that was an electric environment to be in. I'm gonna try to get maybe somebody on from New Mexico beyond the players. I'm gonna talk to the that covers New Mexico. Sean Ryder with the Albuquerque Journal, great guy. I've had him on the podcast. He's out here, so maybe he'll come take some time for us. Whether it's today or it's tomorrow, would love to get some insights on just what campus look like from a UNM standpoint. We also got our pit press guys too, but I know Sean Ryder, he's there every single day, covering the team at a high level. UNLV, or not UNLV, I have the New Mexico and UNLV as a high leverage Mountain West game this year. We've already talked about it. We've done the Mountain West League, all the scheduling breakdowns and stuff. But man, that is just such an essential game if we think UNLV and New Mexico are going to be what they think they're going to be in 2026. So that's obviously pretty important of a game. That's like towards the last 3 weeks of the season. New Mexico has UNLV, and then San Jose State, and 3 weeks of the year, I believe. Maybe the San Jose State games earlier, but they got UNLV and Air Force at home in the 3 weeks of the season. Pivotal Mountain West games on the schedule that are going to could flip the entire standings upside down for that. Lobos offense last year as well, 72nd in scoring offense, 90th in passing, 72nd in rushing, 88th in total offense. So yeah, consistency on offense. Like I hear you, the passing game. Passing game was 90th. They got to get better there. And I actually liked their receivers last year. Keegan Johnson was really good last year. And the deal is that they had some injuries towards the back end of the year, and they lost two. I remember they lost two receivers in a San Jose State game last year in San Jose. And they didn't work that well. I'm trying to remember the guys they lost. It's blanking on me. But they lost wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 3 essentially on roster. So. Yeah, that is that's going with that. So Jackson Eck doing an interview right now. We got him next. Whoever frees up between Jackson Eck and Jack Lane first, we're gonna just make it happen with one of these guys. So we could go ahead and call it for the morning. On our end, but I want to talk to these guys. I mean, they're going to be really good this year. They're massive contributors to what was a very successful season. We talked about this. Their defense last year for New Mexico, 46th in scoring defense, 86th in passing, 21st in defense, 41st overall. That was a really good unit for them. And the crazy thing is that they return a lot. I talked about it earlier. They're number 1 in the Mountain West in returning production this year. They every single on the D line, the linebacking unit, and the secondary, they're bringing back important people. Jackson Eck obviously speaks for itself, over 100 tackles. Mercury Swaim's back. In the secondary, they have safety Austin Brawley, who only played a collection of games last year. He had 3 interceptions in 5 games, massive. Brian Booker on the D line had 3 tackles for loss and a fumble recovery. Obviously, big piece for them, just pushing and moving the lineage. Even for other guys, they graduated Gabe Lopez. They graduated John Johnson. He led the team in pass breakup a year ago. And Keyshawn James Newby. This was the freak for them on the D line that they lost. Not due to the poll, but graduation. And man, credit to Jason Eck for his evaluation. He had this was SCS All-Star team last year. He's an Idaho Vandal. And James Newby, I mean, the numbers were incredible. I didn't realize how good the numbers were and took a deep dive on the New Mexico team for 2026. But they're going to lose 9 sacks, 15 tackles for loss, 5 pass breakups in Kayshawn James Newby. That's gigantic. So who is the next James Newby? Quite honestly, I don't think that's going to be replicated. But there's obviously going to be a guy that really steps up. I think it's Brian Booker. I think Brian Booker will be a piece to the puzzle there to do something good. Let's see, who else did the kicker I talked about that, Luke, Drew's Wiki. Really good kicker for New Mexico for like 4 years. He didn't jump in the portal at all. They had Nick Romero from Wagner. So new kicker there. They had Trip Walsh from Iowa State. Very limited production the last 2 years with the Cyclones. And Ormani Arnold. I'd like to get a little scouting report on him. Maybe Jackson Eck will tell me a little bit about him. But he was a Cincinnati Bearcat at fast breakups with the Bearcat. That was pretty good in the Big 12 last year. So that's where we're at with New Mexico. I got some scheduling notes for everybody. The Lobos, they're hosting an FBS opponent in the home opener for the first time since 2014. They've always hosted an FCS. Who are they hosting this year in week 1? I think they host Central Michigan. Yeah, that sounds right. UNM has lost 11 straight road openers. Their first road game, week 3 at Oklahoma. That's going to be tough, but Janek has proved to be a giant killer in that spot. I'm not saying that they're going to go at OU, but when he was an Idaho Vandal coach, I talked about this on one of my podcasts. He would go out and be spoiler for all of these teams. Like he almost picked Oregon years ago. Dan Lanning and company. He won at Laradice with Wyoming. I think that was Jay Sauvel's first year. And he was still in Moscow, Idaho. That was pretty big. They've won under X some good games. Obviously, the UCLA game stands out last year before the UCLA stock got sailed. So that is significant. They're going to be a pretty sizable underdog at Oklahoma, and it's one of these things where you're going to be in the game for 3 quarters. I can already see it. Oklahoma's offense was I wasn't at it last year. John Mateer's got something like John Mateer, who the San Jose State Spartans saw 2 years ago with Washington State. He was running all over them and even all over everybody. He transferred to OU, and then like anybody, when you get to the SEC, SEC defenses are going to figure you out, and that's what happened for a lot of times last. OU's offense was just a mess, and I know they got that Satania kid coming back, who's pretty damn good for Weaver 1, but I don't know. I could see New Mexico up big time in that. And being in the game for longer than people anticipate. And we mentioned the San Jose State, New Mexico history. I mentioned that a jillion times. UNLV travels to Albuquerque this year. We talked about that and how the high leverage game that is. The road team won 7 in a row in that series. So UNLV coming into New Mexico, that is a note for if you're a numbers trends guy or gal, because now the old saying, right? The trend is your friend until it's not. But 7 in a row on the road in a single series is notable. It's not like one of these trends where a team wins when on a Wednesday and when it's 75 degrees. No, we're not just making stuff up here. So that's that. I just some bullet points I wrote down and things like that. And yeah, UNM got a lot of pieces coming back, as we mentioned, returning 6 of their top 10, for that squad. Yeah. Let's see what we're doing here. Jack Lane, Jackson X still chatting it up. And yes, that's where we stand. How we doing?
Oh, you're just looking at yourself?
Yeah, I'm flying the ship solo here.
Are you on right now?
Yeah, we've been live for almost 3 hours.
Hey.
There you go. We were just talking about UNM, so got the whole breakdown.
Was it anything good?
Yeah. So how about this one for you?
Hit me.
So we're from San Jose.
Yes.
Here's something for your game notes this year.
Uh,
New Mexico has not won in San Jose
Since 1969.
Boom, there you go. He's the SID. He knows what we're talking about here.
I was 1970. It's really bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. We played, this is actually the second time we played on Halloween. Because the
Okay.
last time we played on Halloween, the game was supposed to be in New Mexico during the COVID year.
Huh?
And then this is a true story for anyone. This is a true story. If you guys everybody knows the great Lawrence fan, right?
Yep.
We all know
Absolutely.
Lawrence fan yelled at me at that game. So it's code. I'm in like the separate press box away from everybody. And they were getting the stats wrong. It was the old stats program. So they were goofing up. Jack, don't go anywhere. You're going to come here in a second. So they grow and they kept giving tackles to my backup quarterback. So I'm texting Lawrence about it. And Lawrence came storming down. He was the bad. He was just had a dad. And Lawrence came storming down with a sheet of paper. And he just goes, is this your roster? And I was like, yes. And he's wearing a mask and I'm wearing a mask. I'm like, yeah, that's my roster. Stats are right. I'm like, no, you're giving stats to my backup quarterback. And he was so mad. And he goes, we got it right. And he walked out and left. So at halftime, I went down, saw him, and I looked at him and I was like, Lawrence, why did you yell at me? I didn't yell at you. And I was like, dude, I've been married for 7 years. I know what I'm getting yelled at. You yelled at me. Like, I'm sorry. And that was the end of that.
Oh my God.
I went to the real stars,
Absolutely.
Jack and Jackson here.
Hey,
so let me get out of here.
I appreciate the surprise
Yeah,
appearance.
there you go. Hi.
I love it.
Okay, here are the other guys.
Awesome. That was awesome. How we doing, guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Awesome.
You got lunch, so speak quickly.
Yeah, we could do it. We can hit you guys both at the same time. Yeah, I know. I'm trying myself. So, the New Mexico Lobos stepping in. We got quarterback Jack Lane. We got linebacker Jackson Eck. Guys, how we doing here today?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Pretty magical year in 2025. Guys win 9 games, most since 2016. We were in this spot about a year ago, and you guys were kind of the mystery team because you guys had so much roster turnover. What materialized good for you guys in 2025?
Yeah, I'll start. I think Coach Eck did such a good job bringing us together. Like you said, we had like 70-something new guys.
Yeah.
Now it's a whole new team. And right off the jump, in winter, we worked on our relationships. We worked on getting closer, having each other's backs. And I think that really itself throughout that season.
Yeah, what he said, I think the biggest thing was coming together as a team with so many new guys, getting all on the same page, especially on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of communication, pre-snap and even post during the snap. So yeah, getting all on the same page, building belief, everyone to really believe in what we could do. And I think we also had kind of a chip on our shoulder. A lot of us came from FCS ball, coming up to that. So using that chip on the shoulder as fuel, and yeah, that's what it was.
I'm not gonna lie, I was calling you guys the FCS All-Star team last year. Because like you guys were, under recruited, and then you came up and you guys found a coach that you believed in, and then it translated on the field. Talk to me about that fan base, because they've been starving, for some winning in Albuquerque. You guys had the largest attendance growth in the country last year. I think you guys were averaging like 9,000, and then you guys were selling the place out every week. I guess talk to me about how awesome that. I got family out there. It's a great place. How cool is that?
Yeah, I think Albuquerque is a hidden gem in terms of like college sports. You know, we're the only show in town if you think about it. There's no professional sports teams. There's like a minor league baseball team.
Exactly.
So if we keep this thing rolling, we can keep growing the attendance, keep growing the support. And when they show out, it's a tough to play. You know, just ask San Diego State's quarterback. You know, couldn't hear a dang thing when he was trying to snap the ball in overtime. So, you know, on that this year, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I think big thing for us is capitalizing on the momentum, because we saw when we started winning games, the attendance increases. So, you know, it's on us to put a good product out. We know if we do that, we're going to get great support. So,
Ask for you as a defensive guy, but you know, somebody in our chat asked, New Mech fan, an alum asked, how do you create more turnovers? And I know it's kind of always like the crazy thing, because to a certain extent it's kind of, so there's some luck factor to it.
No
but I guess how do you do that?
Yeah, that's been a big thing I've been focusing on. You know, trying to take my game to the next level is trying to force more turnovers. You know, sure, some of it may be luck, but I think it's also being intentional on the ball. When you're the second guy getting the football, when someone has him held up, ripping at the ball, and then, you know, capitalizing when the ball gets thrown to you, catching the ball. You know, I think we definitely left some turnovers on the table last year, and me personally, that's been a big focus. One, it's focusing on it in practice, like physically doing it, but then I've also, you know, tried to watch some film on guys who do it. Jacob Rodriguez has been a guy I've been watching.
Oh, yeah.
At Texas, he forced a bunch of fun, and you can tell why watching him play. He's always taking shots at the ball.
Yeah, it's a good last year,
no doubt.
Offensively, you know, you guys had a lot of, you know, stars. I mean, the running back spectacular. Scott Trey Humphrey's back. What's been the growth for Scott Trey? Because he kind of RB1. He was kind of penciled in to be the guy. You know, then, you know, Bannon and McKinney start to emerge a little bit. What does he have in store here for his senior campaign?
Yeah, I'm excited about where he's at. I mean, he has grown as a leader this offseason, which is big for him. He's been more vocal. I think last year was tough because, you know, we had a lot of good talent.
Yep.
I mean, Damon Bankston, he's trying to earn a spot with the Giants right now. You know, he's killing it. And there's only so many carries to go around. But I think this year, you know, Scott Trey has really had a season, and he's building a lot of momentum for this season. So I'm excited to play with him back there.
I'm from San Jose. I cover San Jose, but also the Mountain West big picture. Watch all the games here. I got to give you and your coaching staff and everybody a lot of credit, because sometimes when they throw two quarterbacks in, things can get a little fuzzy. And you bring back James Lobstein. You know, you guys were running very creative stuff with him. From you, when you kind of get subbed out in the middle of the drive, when you got things going and you kind of got like 4 straight completions, what's to keep it even keeled?
I don't mind it because, you know, he's such a good piece of our team. He's a big part of our offense. I mean, for me, it's all about the team, and it makes him better. So, you know, let's get him in there. And he's a tough guy to tackle. Just ask the guy sitting next to me. You know, no one wants to tackle. That's, you know, when he's hard. So he's been great. So happy to have him back. He's a great team guy. Everyone's a great leader.
I'm going to hand it right back to you because 90th in passing offense. I'm not one of these number guys, but how do you get those numbers up a little bit from a year ago?
I think what was that, PFF or
a little bit of everybody? Not
our
the advanced analytics, just like, you know,
like yards. I mean,
yeah.
we were one of the lowest possession teams. I'm going to defend us a little bit. We were one of the lowest possession teams in the country. Why? Because we control the ball. That's one of Coach Eck's biggest things. You know, we control the ball, and this defense catch their breath. They come on and dominate. And you know, we use our time, and that's going to result in lower, you know, passing yardage numbers. But you know, we can be better, and we will be better. But you know, we're going to do whatever it takes to win. If that's run it 50 times, you know, we're going to run it 50 times. If that's throw it 50 times, we're going 50 times. I would trade 90th in the country. I'd trade 100th in the country for 9 wins all day long.
Absolutely.
So that's how I get it.
No, I hear you there. That was a great answer. You guys have been in New Mexico long enough. You guys, green chili guys.
If I had to pick one, I used to say red. I think I'm green.
Yeah.
But I also like mining them too.
Yeah, I know. We had Richard Pierce on last year. We were out. He hit us with Big Christmas. Yeah. Where you stand?
I think red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. I mean, you can't go wrong with either though. Depends on way of the week, right? Talk to me about Sky. I said it numerous times that you guys came prepared every single game, and like there was really kind of like no letdown spot, if you will. I know you guys want, but you guys were kind of always, ready to every Saturday. Does that obviously that with him, leading you guys, just talk to me about him as your head coach and how he's just a leader and motivator of men.
Yeah, I think he is such a good, easy guy to play for, man. He's really a player's coach. He cares about all of us, not just as players, but, as humans. And he really makes us believe in what we're doing. Belief is a big thing with him. And, we believe in him, believe in his vision.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's my dad too,
Yep.
so known him my whole life, but obviously really proud of what he's done throughout his coaching career. And, it's been really cool to get to see firsthand the players. It's no surprise now I have a better understanding of why it always seems like guys love to play for him. Definitely, like he said, a player's coach, great belief in the team, and, kind of building a family within the program.
Absolutely. So like I told you guys, I'm from San Jose. Like we do all the games. Are you guys aware of the San Jose State and New Mexico series history?
They don't
So,
last year.
Yeah, so San Jose won last year. You guys know that. You guys have not won in San Jose since 1969.
Wow.
So and you guys got the chance to do that year. So what's real? I know San Jose State was no good last year from a record standpoint. I guess what stood out about that team when you saw them last year?
I think they're. I thought they were a very talented team.
Mhm.
Their offense, especially their schemes they do, it's not easy to defend. It's kind of unorthodox. You don't see it every week with their spread offense. We got to play better. They came out and they flat out beat us. We struggled to get stops against them. The QB played a great game against us. Receivers made plays, and they were even. We'd have to lighten the box, and they'd run the ball well on us. So we got to be better in all areas, and it's another tough game when we go play them.
Yeah, I thought they flew around on defense. Y'all flew around on defense last year. Created a lot of turnovers, wrecked a lot of havoc up front. That was a really, really hard game for us, and it's a tough place to play. And shoot, we got to go back there. But it's going to be another good game this year.
Absolutely. Before we close things, for Mountain West fans out there, who's there that maybe the fans don't know yet, but will know by the end of the year?
I think Miles Williams, wide receiver.
Can I say two?
Go for it.
Defense, I got Mercury Swaim, linebacker, and then Ja Torres, cornerback.
Yeah. Mercury Swaim was awesome last year.
Yeah, came on at the end.
Absolutely. Yeah, how's Brawley been looking? I know. Yeah, he got a setback with an injury. I couldn't believe he had 3 interceptions in 5 games. He just came out firing.
The reason I didn't list him, I assume people know who he is.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a great player. It sucked that he wasn't able to play the full season last year. I know that really hurt him. He loves ball. But yeah, he's kind of another guy that's the heartbeat of our defense. So excited to have him back healthy and excited to see what he can do.
Last one for me. I think in 2026 in college football, roster continuity and returning production is so important, especially when you have a good team.
Yep.
You guys had a great team last year. How significant is it that you guys just have so many guys running it back last year?
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of guys that know what it takes to defensively. I think it helps the communication. Defense is huge on communication, being on the same page. all clicking as one. And I think that being together for another year, that only helps. We're not going to be better just because we played for another year. We got to keep working and growing it. But excited to see what we can do with a year together.
Yeah, I think it's so rare to have this level of, like keeping the amount of players, returning starters that we have. And I think we got to take advantage of it. We got to bring the new guys in. We got to keep the core, but bring the new guys up to speed. And, I think we've done a great job of that. And I'm so happy with, the chemistry that so far. And we got to keep growing that this summer and in the fall camp.
Right on. Appreciate the time. Guys hit Radio Row kind of all at once here. Yes, best of luck in 2026. And we'll see you guys in San Jose October 1st.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. There you have it. Jack Lang, Jackson Eck. Great responses from them. Awesome. And appreciate them taking some time for a lengthy interview for us to make all that happen. Great conversation with them. Just talking football from last year to this year, and sprinkling in a little New Mexico culture in there. So that's going to do it for first half of what we're out here today. We're going to be back later afternoon. I'm going to go take a long, lengthy break. We're going to have an afternoon stream. So on youtube.com/AdvertSentiment, that will be available. If you just go to the live tab, if you click on the channel, you'll see it. Just click on it when we're live. I'm going to target probably around 1:15 time frame, 1:30. We'll see what happens here. But probably within the 1 o'clock hour, a little after 1, we'll make things happen, and we'll reignite things here at 2026 Mass Football Media Days, and we'll keep things rolling. So yeah, keep an eye there. If you're listening to this stream on the Twitter side, don't worry about it. You'll know when we go live. Just click on the profile of mine, and it'll pop right up. So that's going to do it for us right now. We'll see everybody and change. So you know the deal. That have all the rest of the Mountain West teams and in the gauntlet here at Media Days. So that will for now. Cheers everybody, and thanks.